Hey, Frank. How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Just getting it set up here. Expect to have some of the others join us shortly. But for Frank and some of you that are here early, good for you. Jonathan, good morning. I went out, just came back a few minutes ago from getting a couple of ships this morning. It's sunny out, as you can see. So I thought I better get them while the getting was good. Because it's supposed to continue throughout the day, clouding up a little bit, partly cloudy, and then possibly rain early evening or late this afternoon. Of course, that's the weather reports. Who knows? Frank. No, I didn't have a direct contact. I just got somebody sent me a message was what it was. Hey, Perry, how you doing? The Anderson, let me see where it is. Well, it's up the lake a little ways. Don't know. It depends upon whether or not I have people on the panel um, who can kind of take over and run the show while I dip out for a little bit. I still have those two videos to edit, so hanging with JD. How you doing? I know, Mia. I know, Mia. What do you want? I've already fed you. You're just gonna have to hang loose for a minute, okay? Mia is just bound and determined she wants me to do something, and I don't know what it is, but she wants me to do it. She comes over on this side, bugs me, comes over on this side and bugs me. What's it you want? What do you want? Huh? What? Hey, what? God, I wish they could talk, you know? What? Give me a second. Maybe she wants another helping of breakfast. Hang on. Who knows? Cool cat. Michael, how you doing? Um, Mia's just been bugging me. I'm hoping that she eats her breakfast. No, she didn't. Maybe she will. Who knows? Um, don't know where everybody is. They're out and about, I'm sure, doing something. She's slowly wandering towards her breakfast bowl. Well, I would imagine probably Justin and Tim are probably out for the count because I think they were gaming all night last night. And I don't know where Joe is. Joe maybe went and did a morning flight. I don't know. We got 88 people watching, uh, which is always good. Man, I'm gonna go open the door, see if that's what she wants. Hey, what's I? What's I? Okay, I'm back. Jonathan, you're always welcome. Anybody always welcome to join. Lance, good morning. The it's kind of like hit or miss on getting all the ships. I can't get them all. The right now we're waiting here on the camera the Tim S Duel, and then behind it is got the Manitowoc, and up the lake up a little ways is the Arthur M. Anderson. Been really busy down along the river, unless you get there early in the morning. Or what they do is a lot of people go and they get some takeout, carry out food, and sit in their cars looking at the river and sitting there and eating. Oh yeah. Avoid the lines. Hey, Lance. Okay, Jonathan, it sounds like you had your endeavor with a Karen, huh? Or a Ken or Karen. Usually when I fly, I park right in one of these two spots. Those are handicapped, and I've got a handicap sticker. But the fishermen will start lining up here pretty soon. Hey, way I'm on. Joe, how you doing? Good morning. Usually Rodney Bell does a show on Saturday morning, but I didn't see him. Hey, Lance, coming in with audio. Hey, Lance, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Paul?
Another day in paradise, as they say.
Let me turn my YouTube down.
How's the weather been out there?
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Am I in?
Well, you're on the live stream, but you're only voice. Well, wait a minute, here we just voice.
Got it. Am
And
I
now
on twice now?
I got two of you.
Okay. Geez. Hold on. Okay. Am I still in?
Yeah, voice.
Okay.
Yep, with voice.
Oh, no.
No
Let's
video.
see. Let's see. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. I'm good. I'm gonna run downstairs and grab some cereal real quick, but I'll be back. Yeah,
Okay,
weather is
sounds
awesome.
good.
Weather is awesome. I'm gonna go, like I said, go get gas for my wife in about 15 minutes,
Okay,
and I'll probably fly my Avata somewhere between
sure.
Costco and home just to get it out in the nice sunshine. So I'm looking forward to that. But I will be right back.
The Yeah, all's good. We got 13 people watching us now. Um, Saturday morning get together here. Like I say, I think most of the gamers are still either asleep or exhausted from gaming. Hey, Mark White, how you doing?
Hi, Paul. Lance,
Lance went to go get a
Jody.
bowl of cereal.
Yeah, Jody, Jonathan, Michael, Joe, Harry.
So what have you been up to, Mark?
Just trying
Just
to
hanging?
find. I've had doorbells rung twice, and the picture has shown delivery men on me. What's it?
Well, what did Precious order?
Doorbell camera. But I can only find one parcel out there.
Well, maybe one parcel was yours and the other parcel, Precious got that.
I don't know. Neither of them put a card through the door to say where they'd left the parcel or what they'd done with them.
No, Perry Ann, I didn't hear that. Perry Ann is just reporting that one of the ships up in Lake Superior, taking on water.
Oh dear, that's not good.
The GOT, which is 1,000-footer, is following her to see what's going to happen. Let me go up here and look and see where it is.
Oh, they sent a tug out to it.
There they are. Be a captain it is. Let me see if I can't pull it up over here and show you guys.
Michael, I forgot to mention Michael. Michael's there. And JD.
Okay, there it is. There they are, one right after the other, up in Lake Superior. It's doing 9.5 knots, the Mia Captain, which is an older. It's an older traditional or classic, and here's the GOT. It's following it.
Yeah, she says it's hit something in the lake.
Let's see, the GOT's doing 9.5 and it's they're both doing 9.5, so he's paralleling it. So I'm thinking maybe it's gonna go up here to Thunder Bay. And I don't see any like Coast Guard ships or. So they must be keeping up with it, I'm guessing. You don't like to see that kind of thing happen, you know?
No, it's not good. Right down.
Let me pull up my regular chat here. Okay. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Heading to Thunder Bay. Yep. Okay. Okay. So Coast Guard dispatched a helicopter out there. My audio is low.
Just a little bit.
How's that better?
Just a bit more.
How's that?
That's okay.
Okay. Yeah, Jonathan, we don't know. Perry Ann was kind of been following that. Don't know if it struck something underwater or struck a reef or what it did, but the reports are that it struck something.
Are there any reefs in Lake Superior?
Oh yeah. Well, you got to remember the lakes were dug out, Mark, by a glacial activity.
Yeah.
And so you've got lots of rocks on the bottom. That's why they have the different, it's not just a smooth bottom.
Uh-huh.
And so there's outcroppings of rocks at different locations.
Yeah, so there's set channels they've got to follow.
Yes. And if you vary at all, you can get into trouble depending upon the depth of your vessel and how much weight you have on board,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Joe.
Running late.
Hey, I've been known to do that too.
Yeah, I had 3 o'clock in the morning. My son came home and decided to watch television. And I had to tell him turn it down because I got surround sound and he flipped it on.
You need to get him headphones.
No, he needs to get his own apartment.
Well, that's going to be happening soon, isn't it?
Next month. Middle of July. My dogs are gonna get a break. I'm gonna get a break. Because my dogs, when he's not home, I'll say, Justin will be home in a little while. They lay in the hallway and wait and watch the door. Anybody coming through the door. You got all your treats this morning. Go. Go. You got food in your dish. I kept waking up. I went back to sleep. I heard him go to bed. I was fine. I was fine when he turned it down. I was fine. But this morning I woke up at 6 o'clock. I said, well, I could wait till about 6:30. Rolled over and said, what time is it? And they said 8:02. So I said, well, I guess I get up. What's Lance doing?
He went to go get some breakfast because he's got to go shortly and gas his wife's car up, so.
Oh, he's gonna fly to Avada line. Avada 2.
There's what Perry Ann sent me.
Go.
U.S. Coast Guard reports the Michigan collided with something underwater on Lake Superior just before 7 a.m. Saturday and is taking on water. She's approximately 35 miles southwest of Isle Royale.
You know what they collided with?
What?
They collided with one of them spaceships that are underwater.
Yeah, there you go. Could be.
It'll be one of Paul's A2S's.
Air to us. That's what it was. Yeah, you're quicker than me. I'd have thought of that. I'd have said it first.
Is that better on the volume? Does that sound all right to you, Joe?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, because JD says it sounds like I'm yelling.
Get off of that. Get down. Get down. Crazy ass dog. You're getting old.
Well,
You're getting
either-
bad in your
either
old
that or-
age. You know that?
Either that or it could be a sea monster underwater.
Loch Ness.
You
Here's
love your
Lance.
dog, Joe. You love your dog.
This crazy ass dog. I looked over, I heard some noise, like something tapping. I looked over. He's on the sofa and he's climbing onto the table to see if Justin left any food on the table. I told him, I said, "Get off of that thing," and he just looks at me like, "I'm looking." You know? And he's a badass. He turned bad since he's gonna be 8, he's gonna be 9. He's just bad. Actually, he's 15, he's gonna be 9. Now he's over. Justin got his bag. He brings all his stuff from work. It's sitting over there. Now it's all zipped up. He's over there now sticking his nose underneath it, lifting it up, trying to get into it.
Mia and I went and got a couple of ships this morning, and afterwards we made a little stop.
Oh, I know you got him. I know you got him.
Yum, yum.
Boston creams.
You bought Boston creams this time, not the fake ones,
Not the what?
not the fake ones, not the
No,
3-pack.
yeah, these are right from Tim Hortons. Boston creams.
Yeah, buddy.
Hmm.
I got
Did
a
you-
letter back from one of my senators yesterday. Said, "Thank you for contacting me regarding the House Bill 8416 Drone for First Responders Act." And what a form letter is this? It says, in a country as large and complex as the United States, members of Congress are required to study and debate and ultimately vote on a wide range of issues on a daily basis. Your comments help me make an informed decision throughout this important process. Wow.
Right.
I want to know what staff assigned that one. Oh, Lance, I did hear something good on the Pixel Drone Show with Vic Moss. They were asking Vic Moss. He said he talked to Stefanik. TJ. He talked to Stefanik,
Yeah.
and the only thing they're worried about is that they changed wording in it that could technically brick our DJI drones now. But as of right now, she says she has no ambition to do that. Just anything in the future coming in to stop them coming in. So in other words, we'd still be able to fly. unless
We just couldn't
FAA gets
purchase.
involved.
Okay.
You can't buy them.
Okay. Well, that's a little bitter.
But
Paul,
can we
are
get
you
them
eating
repaired?
a Boston cream donut right now?
Yep.
So
No.
buy everyone that you want now. Huh?
Awesome.
So what will that do to Care Refresh?
Yeah,
What?
exactly. You know, so if you crash your drone, can they send you a new one, or is that one going to be bricked?
Now DJI also, look at that. He got enough to bring his blood sugar really high.
I think I might need to. My hair's getting out of control. Jody, it's a me, Mario.
That's funny. You have to change yourself to TJ Mario.
TJ Mario, yeah. TJ Mario.
Yeah. So the other good thing is that DJI now they're supposed to vote on the bill in the Senate on the 12th.
The 12th of this month?
Which is Tuesday.
The 12th of this month. Now the good news is
Wednesday.
the good news is DJI also has got something coming out. It's on Drone DJ. What they're gonna do is they're gonna now give a new update. It may have come out already because I had an update yesterday. After I flew, I come back and get an update. Oh Lord, Hannah's in her red dress this morning. Baby got her red dress on. Sorry, she took my attention away. Oh Lord help me. I might not even be able to talk now.
We see her in your reflection of your glasses.
Lord help me. This girl, I tell you what, she's lucky. I've never met her. I know everybody from that radio station. I mean that TV station, but I have never met her. She's lucky because she married. She said her best friend. She'd have never married him. I would she'd have been mine.
So, Michael, how are you?
That's one of them I might have went after. But the good news is DJI is doing an update where when you sign up and everything, they ask if you want to be part of the cloud so that they can analyze your videos and everything like this. They have that on there, and I always click no. Now they're taking it off. So that might be the first step in getting everybody to leave them alone.
Yeah, that's a step in the right direction.
So they know what's going on. And apparently, according to Vic last night, DJI is talking to, trying to stop this because they're going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
It will no longer be an option.
Well, they have enough in mind, so that's good.
And they're saying that if you want all your flight records from DJ's cloud, you could download them.
Is that all made out of sand, Mark? Your little background there? Did somebody build that out of sand?
Yes, TJ, they did.
That's a 3D print.
That's a good job. It's a 3D print. So
David did that with his bamboo.
Joe, did you see my slow motion of chasing of the boat that I sent you? I think I sent it to you too, TJ.
Yeah, I did.
I may not have seen it.
But that's amazing.
Yeah, you sent it to me. I didn't see it. Yeah, I'll watch it in a minute.
Yeah. 100 frames per second chasing that boat with the water is so cool. Done a really good job with that. The 100 frames does a really good job.
Well, I had one last night. I decided at last minute to go do the sunset because it was pretty clear, but they had a few clouds. I figured it'd be a nice sunset.
I told you me and Asher gave it.
And all I'm gonna tell you is that sunset went to the birds.
When I dropped them off at Speedway.
Because I got up in the air and all of a sudden every purple martin in St. Tammany Parish showed up.
The whole
I've got this video going. I've got this video. I decided to upload it today. It went up today.
Oh, yeah, just
And your
And it
budget-
said a sunset that went to the birds. That's what I call it. And when you get into it, all of a sudden I'll say, "Here come the purple martins," and you'll see what I'm talking about. There must have been hundreds of these birds just flying at the drone.
He's that successful, what's he?
And I
doing?
just stuck it out. I said, you know what? I got a Mavic 3. They're little. Let's see what happens.
New in Detroit.
I figured it'd make for a better video.
Goes to like the different clubs and stuff. He's like,
Hmm.
and that's what he does.
But it was funny. I wish if I thought about it,
For coming up.
I should have grabbed my phone and videoed looking up at it
Yeah,
I should know because
when I had it hovering above me before I brought it down. This drone was sitting in the air, and it must have been, like I said, 100 birds just flying all around it.
he could have whipped out a
I like
knife.
the look on Paul's face. It's
Hmm.
more like
That would have made a good short.
For sure. Okay, hey guys, I've got to run and go get gas. I'll be back in about 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Okay. We might still be
All right, Lance.
later.
Well, what you up to today, Joe?
Well, I'm gonna probably fly again.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go flying today too. I'm gonna after I get this house and pantry in order. There's this abandoned golf course that I drove by and that I saw, and so I think I want to go fly the Avata over there.
Don't wind up in a sand trap.
I know, right? Yeah.
Is that the one that Dobo flies around all the time?
No, this is one like near my house.
All right.
Yeah.
So is Dobo quite away from you then?
Yeah, I think he lives in Orlando somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere around. Well, yesterday I flew about 4 flights yesterday, and I had with the Avata and the Mavic 3. So the Mavic 3, I had a gazillion birds decide they wanted to see it. So that video came out this morning. That's gonna be nice. Then I had the other videos with the Avata. I had fish jumping up at the drone. I was so close to the water.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean twice in front of me. They snapped at the drone.
He
And then
was
I've got
hoping the
another
gator was
video.
gonna get him.
Well, it wasn't a gator, it was fish. It was
Oh.
garfish, alligator garfish. That's what it was. I saw one of them clearly in another picture of it. But and then at the Chafunka River, I don't know what it was that turned over the water. I was able to steal the shot down and look at it. It was some kind of fish that turned around and snapped at it because he came out the water at it. So that happened yesterday. It was like like I said, I lost my GPS going under the bridge. I went from 20, it was 23 to 0.
Wow.
And you could see the drone how it starts wobbling. And I put underneath there, I lost all my satellites. And it started wobbling, started drifting all over the place. And as soon as I came up under the bridge, it just stabilized. And then when I came back the second time, I don't know how many I lost. I didn't look at the screenshot of it. But I lost some of it because it started to do the same thing. And you can see where it jerks all the way to the right and it came.
Well,
And all of a sudden it came right back.
Couldn't you just go up and over the bridge?
Yeah, I could have. But it was a big bridge. It was a big interstate bridge.
Oh, okay.
So I could have went over. There was a lot of traffic. So I just said, I'm gonna go under it because it's about 40 feet off the water. Had plenty of room. Now the one bridge I didn't go under was the one on Madison Street that was only about 2 feet off the water.
Oh,
But they had a big sign, watch for gators. So I didn't want to go under there because I couldn't see. And that one I probably could have made it under too, because I had 2 feet off the water. But if there'd have been a gator underneath there, it might have been a bad thing.
yeah.
Because he was hiding out somewhere. I never did see him. And that little ravine that I flew the other day, that I looked at the map, Dominic, everybody showed him a picture. I didn't realize that it branched off and went the other way, 2 different areas. Well, I just kept going. But then I went and saw it from the opposite way yesterday. And there's no way to keep going up in there. There's so many overhang trees and everything.
Did you stop by and visit your buddies, the raccoons?
No. Now last night I told you I did a sunset and I was gonna go out to Sunset Point. And I thought about it and I said, no, I'll get out there. No, they're gonna be out there. I guarantee they'll be out there now. So I shot Sunset Point from a little further down and just went towards it. And that's the one where all of the purple martins in Mandeville, Louisiana came out to visit me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the video's up. It's you'll see the birds are crazy. But nobody bothered the drone. They just flew around it, you know. Because they usually don't bother. The purple martins will fly around if they won't bother.
Back in
The
a
only one
minute.
you got to worry about is seagulls and eagles.
So since Justin isn't on the panel and Laura can't pick on Justin, she's picking on you, Joe, telling you to shut up.
Well, you think I'm ignoring her?
What sign? I don't see a sign behind me. Are you talking about the hangry? Are you talking about the hangry sign right here?
Yeah.
The hangry sign.
Angry. Yeah, angry.
No, hangry. Like you're angry because you're hungry. I mean,
Yeah.
hangry.
Yeah, but that was. I woke up at
Oh, okay, yeah.
at 2 something and noticed Justin wasn't home, and I said, "Okay, where's he at?" Because I know he wasn't working. So he went out with his friends last night, and then I woke up at 3 o'clock and Justin wasn't home. I said, "Well, he got to take care of himself tonight on this," you know. And he come trucking in about 3:15, and I said, first thing he did, he was eating something on my desk because I had it looked like he might have brought home like donuts or something. But
Boston creams.
they brought home something.
How many
last night,
how many of those did you get? Like 4?
I usually get 6 at a time.
Oh. Where do you get them at? Krispy Kreme?
No, Tim Hortons.
Oh. Where did Mark go? Did he just like go? Did he just jump off?
See there?
Oh,
Tim
nice.
Hortons.
He'll be back.
Nice.
And I've eaten
what-
2 of them so far.
Oh man, those things look delicious.
They are.
Oh my god. What was Jonathan talking about, Joe? He was like asking why you were in the air today. Today's the 9th.
No, we're talking about the they have a TFR, not a TFR out. It's in yeah, what you call it? They're doing a GPS jamming practice thing, but it's according to the times, it's after midnight, so that's why. Yeah, it's after midnight because I'm getting all my GPS signals and everything.
Oh, there you go.
Only when I go underneath a bridge with 8,000 pieces of rebar in it, I don't have it. Yeah, I just pulled up the chat. I've been reading it. Yeah, I always do a pop out on the chat. That way I could keep things separate. But I tell you what, that's a weird feeling because it's 2 double highways going over the Tchefuncte River, and it's total. I'd say you figure you got a 4-lane highway on both sides, so you got about 55 yards to go underneath the underpass. You know, so as I'm going underneath it, I got about a third of a way into it, and I just watched the signals go from 23 go 0. You know. So I'm halfway underneath it at 0 in over the water. I don't even know how deep it is right there. And I just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, you know. And you could see it started rocking a little bit, then it started pulling to the right a little bit. As soon as I came out from underneath there, I got 15, 17, 23, 27. Boom, right back. What's your temperature going to be like today there, Paul?
Chilly, it's only 66 degrees here right now.
Oh, Lord.
Man, send some of that this way. It's hotter than hell over here today.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be 96.
I wasn't even outside and I was sweating inside because like I was trying to put up the shelves in the pantry and I drilled all 4 of the holes. I was using those toggle things instead of an anchor kit, and when I went to put it in, I thought I had cut like the other side of the drywall, and then I went to push the little zip thing in, and then it ended up coming out and it messed up the toggle. So she went to go do yoga this morning, and I'm gonna stop at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever on the way home.
Shh. My wife went to go do yoga this morning.
Yeah. That's what she did.
My
Yeah.
wife. You say my wife, not she.
My
She
wife.
did. My
Take
wife
she
did.
out of your
The
vocabulary.
reason,
My wife.
the reason for my existence, TJ.
Hi, Laura.
It's not she is the reason. My wife is the reason.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mum and my grandma always used to say when you said she said, she's the cat's mother.
Yeah, so just remember, if you start saying my wife all the time, if she starts hearing that, she'll tickle that mustache.
Yeah, because they call a female cat a she cat.
A female cat, a she cat.
So,
Yeah.
well,
That's the
a
one.
male cat is a tom, and a female
Oh
cat
yeah.
is she. So she always used to say, "She's the cat's mother."
It's like in the dogs. My male dog is a Tino, and my female dog is a bitch.
Don't be talking that now, TJ.
I
You
didn't
don't talk that
didn't
way
call you a
about your
bitch.
wife.
What?
You
Wait, what'd you say,
you
Paul?
don't call your wife names like that.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't know. No.
I don't have a wife, so you don't worry about it. I have an
Did you
ex-wife,
read-
and I could call her
Did
anything
you
I want.
read
Now.
Did you read what Laura said about you?
I'm ignoring her.
So,
I don't know why she's talking. She reads from the wrong side of the road, so
from the wrong side of the road.
she probably reads that backwards. So LOL, read can't you? She can't spell. See that? That must be the English version of you. YUOU.
Yeah.
Yo. You got to have an accent in it, I guess. Yeah, I tell you what, this morning I did not want to get out of bed. I almost just when they said it was 2:00, I almost
Oh,
said,
how's your back doing?
oh, the back's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took about a day.
Oh.
It took about a day of working the TENS unit on it to loosen it up. I'm wondering
I
if
see
it was
you got a tan line on your wrist from your watch.
man, you ought to see the tan lines I have. And that's from
That's
that's from
crazy.
like
No, we don't.
Oh, Dang,
tan line.
you need to get one of them the spray on tan things, Joe.
Well, I'm telling you. And you don't want to see my legs.
come on down to Florida and just lay nude out on the beach,
But look,
man.
I noticed that the other day. I had a shorter sleeve on. And I saw the tan
Yeah.
line.
Holy jeez.
But you know what that's from?
I need sunglasses just to look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's from flying so much.
Yeah.
That one, Mark, I don't know if you heard me. That one thing I did yesterday, what's the name of it? The name of it is Exploring Little Bayou Castine. I don't know when it's coming out in the next couple of days. Might be tomorrow. But
your video you made?
Yeah, I did 4 of them yesterday. So when I came over the bridge over on Madison Street and I started coming down, man, I tell you what, alligator, snapping turtle. I counted 27 of them in the video.
Jonathan. Hey, he showed it, so I couldn't help but look. So I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Don't look, Laura.
That's funny. Yeah, for some weird reason, Joe, I thought you were married or something or whatever. I thought you were like.
Shh.
I thought.
I've been married twice.
Oh.
And the second one thought the grass was green on the other side. And she found out it's just grass.
Oh.
And it's been. It was before Hurricane Katrina.
Oh
And
yeah.
I got serious one time in between with this one girl, and she we worked together and we got kind of serious. And it all of a sudden she said she didn't want to get serious. That's what it really was. And when it started getting serious, she backed out a little bit, but she stayed there. You know, it was like
Yeah.
And then when the business closed, she kind of really backed off. You know, it was like, but her thing was she went to the church, a local church, and she said that next person she marries is going to be a minister. That's what she said. She said going to be a minister because he'll be a lot more loyal to her, like that, you know, like that. And she married the youth minister.
Hey, Joe, you guys got it for a few minutes?
Yeah, we got it.
You gonna go? You about to go fly a ship or something?
Yep.
He's going to get some more Tim Hortons.
Don't try and reach that ship that's sinking with your Air-2S. It's too far away.
You do not have an underwater drone, so don't go try to see it. Damn.
What's up, Dan?
What do we call? I'm not flying a splash drone.
Yeah.
Splash drone.
We're gonna see how this holds up. Last time I tried to do this from the browser on this computer, I kept freezing. Remember how bad that was? It doesn't seem to work well with Zoom, so we'll see how long this holds up for today. Works great with StreamYards, but man, try Zoom on this PC, it hates it.
Yeah, it's a little jerky, the movement on it, but
yeah.
Other than that, it's okay.
You should switch to Apple, Dan. Get some Apple products.
Yeah. You'll listen, bro. Allow me to be the hero of the group here, okay? Do not buy closed source products because you can be locked out at any point in time.
That's funny.
It's funny. So you're talking about DJI drones in that Senate bill?
DJI, any closed source system, man, is you're just asking to be locked out at any point in time. This is why I've always tried to tell the community open source is the best way to go, because then they have zero control over you. You can do whatever you want.
I
tell
prefer
like
tomato sauce personally.
that woman across the hall. I keep telling her she needs to be open source, but she won't listen.
Did you show her the D, bro?
Showed her my tan line.
There you go. Check out my farmer's tan, babe. Yeah.
You want to see my cornstalk?
Joe became the aggressive dude in the weight room when a female's in there. Look at my fucking arms. Don't you want to be with me, bitch?
No, the women at my place is like that. They turn
That's
it
how it is
around.
here in Florida, bro. The Florida gym bros are jerks here. They're all full of themselves here.
Shoot, I get out of my car and they hanging over the balcony hollering at me. Hey, how you been? You know, like, Lord help me.
But Joe's not telling you is it's the transgender top level.
No, well, that's the very top. That's the very top floor. They got the pride flag.
Chicks with dicks.
But then the ones in the middle, they be hanging over. And man, I tell you what, it's like that scene in Beetlejuice. You know what I mean?
I want to see that. I want to see that new movie. That looks pretty good, actually.
I mean,
What?
it should be good.
Wait. You said chicks with dicks, and I want to see that new movie.
No. I'm talking about Beetlejuice, not that. I'm talking about the new.
Okay, I was one of them. TJ, come on.
You know, I noticed every single movie that comes out, they actually make a porno of it, and it's funny. Like, dude, you would be surprised how many Robin Williams porno movies there are actually out there, just based off the name. Like, he did a movie called What Dreams May Come, right? So they followed that up with Wet Dreams May Come, right?
Oh god.
There's a whole slew of these pornos out there that, like, I almost find it entertaining. And they have ones for Avatar, Star Trek. Like, if you go in depth, every single movie has a porno of it, and the names are just so wonderfully placed.
Yeah, I can imagine the one that they called From Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. They filled that deep space with 9. Uh-oh, message. Message.
What you up to today, Dan? What are you doing? What are you? Are you and Jen going on another adventure?
I have the supercharger off the jet ski because I'm building it with stage 3 Riva parts. I want to produce 20 pounds of boost on the ski. I want it to be a rocket ship, bro.
Nice.
It's putting out about 13 right now. I think if we crank it up this to 17 or 20, bro, it'll go 140 on the water. I mean, sketch. I don't know if I want to go that fast, but it'll have the capability.
It'll have to be flat water.
Right. Glass water, bro.
Yeah.
Glass water.
Because I'll tell you what, it already goes like 90, right? And that's dumb fast on a ski. I mean, dude, the tiniest little wave like that, just making contact with the hull in any kind of way will get it skipping really fast. Right? And all it takes is skipping, and then you lose control.
Yeah, you'd be airborne more than you'd be on the water.
Exactly. Dude, you're dead. You're dead. If you hit the water going that fast, bro, you're dead. That's like hitting a brick wall, dude.
Yeah.
You fall off that thing, bro, you're dead.
One of my daughter's friends, she had a jet ski, and they wanted to funk the river, and she was seeing how fast she can go, and it was getting to be dusk at night. It was right at dusk, and they found a jet ski, and they found her 2 days later.
Yep.
Oh dear.
Yeah, she came off the jet ski, hit something, and her head was crushed in.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, just think about it, dude. How hard is water when you just jump off of a diving board? That's 20 feet. That's 20 feet. You're only traveling 10 miles an hour. My back. It knocked all the wind out of me. All right, now let's increase your body mass. Every 10 miles an hour, your body mass increases by 1, right? So if you're traveling 100 miles an hour and you weigh, 200 pounds, plus the jet ski weighs 1,000 pounds, Think about all that constructive force making contact with the water at one time if you lose control. That's a lot of moving mass, bro, hitting a brick
Yeah.
wall.
Yep. That's why these guys jump off the Mississippi River Bridge in New Orleans, 243 feet.
Yep.
I don't really
I had
like
a-
those I don't like those stand-up jet skis really. I like the ones that you sit down on. I'm not a big fan of the stand-up ones.
Well, let's be honest with ourselves. TJ, how old are you?
Almost 40.
Okay. All right. And I'm almost 40. I just turned 37, right?
Yeah.
TJ, we are not young 20-year-olds anymore. You jump on a stand-up jet ski, dude, you're 5 minutes on that thing, bro, and you're going to feel like you got jumped by 10 dudes in a prison cell for an hour. Right?
Yeah,
There's
I was almost 40 25 years ago.
Yeah. That was a whole bunch of years ago for me.
I give credit to anybody who can actually stunt on a stand-up jet ski or even ride one for more than 10 minutes without being exhausted. It is one of
Yeah.
like I've tried it before, bro. I put about 3 minutes in and I was done. My legs hurt, my knees hurt, my arms hurt. It is a very athletic sport to do. People are not understanding that. Like your knees and legs take all of the rebound that's happening on the water. It's not like
Yeah.
sitting on a
It is.
seat.
It's like
Yeah, 'cause
skiing
when I-
down
when
a
I-
mogul
I was-
field.
Right.
When
Constantly.
when I was younger growing up, you know, like I used to live in Georgia, and my stepdad at the time, he had I think they were Kawasaki jet skis. I believe they were red and black, and he had those stand-up ones, and we would take them out on the lake and stuff all the time. And you would like literally have to like start off like lying down, and then as
Yeah.
you like you have to like pull yourself up,
Mhm.
and then get on your knees, and then just stand up.
Yeah, you start off in a plank position. You drag your feet until it gets up on plane, and then you throw your body weight up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because the craft stabilizes once it's on plane. Like it'll just want to go in a straight line until you stand up.
Yeah,
It's fun to watch people try to learn because they just don't realize they all try to do it at slow speeds and it just doesn't work out well for them. They don't realize you got to give it some throttle, man. You got to give it some throttle to get up.
It's like trying
Right.
to stand up on a surfboard, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, except those skis are better counterbalanced in my opinion. What they're
Mhm.
propelled forward, so the natural streamline of the ski is I want to go straight. Right?
Yeah.
It's like riding your bike. It's hard to do it at slow speed. It's hard to keep it stable, but once you get up to speed, you can just let go of the
Yeah.
handlebars and the bike will just cruise, right? It's the same principle.
yeah,
It's like people that fall off motorcycles on the highway, the bike will just continue to go.
Yeah, they do.
It doesn't just tip over. It goes until it becomes such a slow speed that it can't counterbalance itself anymore, and then it'll fall over.
Until you catch up with it and hit it.
Right. Dude, I've watched people fall off the highway, and the bike will just go for like a mile still down the road. It'll just ride the white line, and because it's locked into one fixed position, if it was going straight when it did it, it's going to hold that line.
Mm.
Yeah, I had one. I got clipped one time. The guy clipped the back of mine,
Mhm.
and the bike came out from underneath me, but it started flipping. And
Oh,
I'm flipping,
geez.
and the bike's flipping. And I'm watching the bike right in front of me flipping. And I'm saying, this ain't going to work. And what I did is when I landed on my back the third time, when I hit my back the third time, I grabbed my legs to try not to flip, and I started sliding. And I'm watching the bike. I'm sliding on my back, watching the bike just doing this in front of me. And finally, I fall, the bike falls, and then it leans back and lands on me. Damn. But I was fine. I was able to get up and walk away. Hurt a little bit. Felt beat up, but I was able to walk away from it.
Sorry, Joe, I missed the end of that story. The girlfriend was calling. She didn't realize I was on the stream.
No, I said the guy clipped it, and as I grabbed my back and I was holding on, I was sliding, watching it bounce in front of me, just doing flips. And I'm thinking, just keep flipping, because I was slowing down. So it was slowing down. So I
Right.
stopped as it hits the last time, and as it hits it, and then rolls back, boom, and lands on me. I said, God darn it.
Did you ever see the video? The dude's on the highway on his motorcycle and he's cruising at like 70, and the person in front of him slams their brakes on and he collides with the rear end of the car, right? And his
Yeah.
buddy has this all on film. He's filming from an angle. He hits the back end of the car and his legs clip the handlebars just enough that the momentum that carried him forward makes him do a complete Spider-Man front flip, and he lands on the trunk of the car like Spider-Man. And he holds on. Like, it is the most insane thing I've ever seen. You know,
Yeah, I
and
I
the
saw that.
never
dude,
saw that.
what's that?
That looks like it would be pretty crazy.
Bro, and it's real though. It wasn't staged. There's no wires. Like, this happened, bro. And I was just like, you know how lucky he is to have buckled his knees on the handlebars? Because if he didn't, he would have shot over the top of the car and then the car would have hit
Head
him.
first. Yeah.
Yep.
He's so lucky, the difference in speed, bro. And it was probably like 15 miles an hour between him and the car, right? It was probably about 15 or 20. So that 20-mile-an-hour impact was just enough to throw him forward and his legs catch and just like it was you could have I guarantee, dude, you could redo that 100 times over and never get the same result. That dude had a
Yeah.
guardian angel that day, bro.
It had more than one.
Yeah.
Is
Somebody
that
was
on
looking out
YouTube?
for that dude.
Is that on YouTube somewhere?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Look up
Um,
guy hits car, cat sprawls.
And there is only one breed of person who will be willing to try and do that 100 times over.
Yeah.
Stuntman. Yeah.
Stuntman, yep. Gosh, man.
Yeah, they couldn't reenact it.
If I could be so lucky, bro. I'm sure Hollywood stunt people are like, that dude's the shit.
I've got to watch that new film, The Fall Guy.
So
Oh
It's
yeah,
I mean, the original one with Steve, what's his name? The hell was he called? The guy that played Steve Austin? Lee Majors.
Lee Majors.
I'll tell you this. It was fun. It was a fun movie. It was very Ryan Reynolds style stuff, man. Even though that's not like Ryan Reynolds, right? It's his type of humor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It feels Deadpoolish, even though he's not in the movie. It had that Deadpool-esque humor. So
Yeah.
it was fun. It was all around fun. It was a good film, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
It was well rounded. I'll say that. It was a well rounded. It was funny when it needed to be, and it took itself not totally serious, but the stunts were fun. They were just fun. It felt like a what was that movie with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker?
I know, yeah.
Damn, I can't think of the name of them.
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour. It felt very Rush Hour-ish. You know, it was just fun. That was the type of humor that you're basing it off of, without a lot of the crudeness of it. You know, it was meant to be wholesome.
Yeah.
I want to go see that, and then I want to go see the that new Venom movie.
Yeah, it looks good. I hated the first two. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was not a fan of the first two.
Oh,
yeah.
They felt cheesy to me. I don't know why.
I think I saw like bits and pieces of the first one, but I don't think I ever saw the second one.
I think this one is going to be more of the comic book rendition that I'm used to, and the first two were like character build up for them, right?
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, man. I just didn't hit home for. I'm a huge comic book nerd, right? I've been following comic books my whole life, so I have an expectation when I walk into these films of certain things, and I think most of the fan base does. If you're a huge fan of Venom's character and you grew up with the comics, then it's kind of one of those things where you're like, I have an expectation that this is how it's going to be, right? And I don't mind that they make variations, but when the character doesn't fit the role at all of what is portrayed in the comics, then what were they basing it off of? You know?
Yeah.
I think one of the funniest parts of it was where they were with that guy who was, I don't know what he was doing, robbing a store or something like that, or something stupid anyway. And Venom said, Can I
eat him?
Yeah.
Can I eat him?
Go on then.
Oh, your head looks delicious. Yeah, I mean, and that was the first time that I really started seeing Venom, was like near the end of the second movie. That's when he started, to me, became more Venomish, right? His character was always like that, right? It wasn't so much that they're trying to create this weird structure between him and the guy he's parted with, right? The guy he's part of. And I
Yeah.
didn't understand, the dynamic didn't feel right to me for a while. It just didn't. And then, like I said, the last 30 minutes of that movie, I was like, okay, this is how it should have been. The whole thing,
Yeah.
first movie and this one should have been that way.
That's where Venom came in at the, I think it was like the second Spider-Man movie or whatever. Is that right? It was like the second one when it's either the second or the third one when Peter Parker was at the where he was at some science lab or something, and he had that black whatever.
That was the first phases of Venom. Was the Spider-Man 3 movie was the first time we saw Venom, right? That's when he became Black Spider-Man. That's when he bonded with his suit and then tore it off. But that was a very shitty version of Venom as well, man. That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was garbage.
What's up,
I don't
Joe?
know. Number 3 should have never been made, in my opinion. That was a crap ass movie.
What's up,
It's
Dre?
so cheesy compared to the first two.
I Drake.
What's up, Dre?
Muted.
We can't hear you. You got no audio, Dre.
No audio.
No audio.
I know we're not deaf, sir, so it's definitely your audio.
Okay, how about now?
Okay.
Yeah, now we got you.
Okay, I had to turn my mic monitor button on. My little
You got too
switcher
many
here.
buttons.
Yeah.
Yep, too many buttons. I'm getting too old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't look too old, man. You still look jacked.
Well, that's all part of the plan, Yeah. I am getting old, but I'm trying to fight it all the way.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess the stream is way behind because when I first came on, Joe was talking about the DGI updates, and I go on the live feed here, and you guys are talking about Spider-Man.
Oh, it's way behind YouTube's.
Wow.
15 seconds
Yeah.
to 20 to a minute. And if you're watching Paul's YouTube, it's about 5 minutes behind.
Yeah.
Well,
We haven't
Dan
talked
was
about
talking about.
DJI
Dan
in a
was talking-
while.
Yeah, Dan was talking about what I've been trying to get that woman across the hall to say. That my head looks so delicious.
She gives head from across the hall? What?
Well,
I didn't say that.
Joe, that's
That's
not like
quite-
you to talk like that.
That's quite a feat. Sounds like somebody Joe needs to get to know.
I don't think it had anything to do with a foot.
I wasn't talking about it for. You got that one, I think.
yeah. I
Oh,
guess this
boy.
conversation is taking a very strange
same amount of
turn
letters,
to
just
left
you-
field.
Just rearrange them.
Dre.
Hey, that's because I'm
Dan's
here.
here. Dan started.
I like to keep things interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Keeps you guys from talking about DJI and drones.
Well, that's what I popped in here for, just to piggyback on Joe's 5-minute old comments. Now that
Yeah.
I realized the show was so far behind, Is that
Did you watch the Pixel thing?
I didn't watch the Pixel one. I saw when he was on Dobo's channel, and then the biggest announcement is what Drone XL put out yesterday early
Oh yeah.
about the DJI shutting down the sync portion, and that's why I shut off an email to Air Data right away, and they responded, and I did my video showing that Air Data, pretty much said it is what it is. But if you use older drones that use the Go 4 app, like a lot of the Phantoms and up to the Mavic 2 Pro, Air Data will still work. Air Data will work if you use Litchi. Air Data will work if you still use Drone Link to fly with. If you use Drone Deploy, it will still work. So it's going to be a matter of what you have and what you fly with. It's going to be the
Yeah,
big
so
difference.
Air Data is not going to work for mine anymore.
Right, like I say, anybody who uses the Fly app.
Yeah.
With basically all the mini drones going forward, use that Fly app, it's not gonna work. And for that, you'll have to manually download your data off the controller, and input it manually to AirData at that point. And for the simple fact that, because AirData said if you're able to upload the app, but we all know all those controllers, you're not allowed to sideload nothing on them. You can't download nothing on all those controllers that have the Fly app. I think the only controller you can add a third-party app to is when you get up to the RC Pro level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have the RC Pro.
Now, the RC Pro may allow you to add AirData on there. If you can add it on there, then you're still golden. But you got to realize then how many drones does the RC Pro support?
So
Yeah.
AirData are going to disconnect the connection between it and your DJI account.
Well, DJI is severing the connection because AirData was, the way their platform is built is to work off the cloud storage of what DJI has. So if DJI cuts off the cloud storage, they can't access it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the RC Pro is the next one that I know because I did add the special version of Drone Deploy to my RC Pros for my enterprise drones. And I'll check in the same thing with the RC Plus. I'm pretty sure that you're able to sideload or upload to apps to that one.
So because I have no version of anything, I just have it as it is. So I should be able to do the AirData on it. My question is,
For
if I
the
do the
Avata?
AirData on, no, the Avata, that's going to be a different story.
Mhm.
Because the Avata 2 and the Avata, you have to sync it afterwards onto AirData on your phone.
Okay.
So then I'd have to, you see, then I'd have to find a way to download those.
Well, like I say, if you're using your phone with your Avatas, you're golden because your phone can have the AirData app on it.
Yeah, so I'm good there.
So you're good there. It's going to be the mini drones, the mini original mini SE, mini 2, mini 3, mini 4, mini 4 Pro, mini 3 Pro, all those with those RCN controllers that can't add any third party apps to them, all that kind of stuff. That's where you're going to be hurting.
So how do you get it to jump over to AirData from?
Well, you'll have to.
Go ahead.
Like I say, now I don't have any of those mini drones. So do they have SD card slots in them?
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about the what you call it. I'm talking about if you have the app on the phone and you have the
RC and the RCN2 and the RC2 all have SD cards. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have an SD card in your controller, you can download the data file off the controller onto the SD card, and then you'll have to transfer it into that way.
Yeah, but if you have the Fly app on your phone,
the RCN1 and the RCN2 both use the phones. It's only the RC and the RC2 that have got built-in screens.
Right. So like as you go into Joe, if you have a phone and you have the AirData app on that phone, it will automatically load into that phone if you have it set up that way. I know AirData, you can set it up manually or you can set up automatically. And like I say, from all of mine, I do it automatically. So that way I don't have to think about it. It's doing it automatically. Like with Drone Deploy, it's an automatic upload. Now, yesterday I flew my Phantom 4 RTK, which is usually based off the Go 4 app.
Mm-hmm.
Still uploaded automatically to AirData. So like I say, it's going to be those in the last, how long when the first mini came out? 3 years ago? The first mini drone came out? Yeah, around 3 years ago. So those folks who jumped on the bandwagon with drones about 3 years ago going forward.
It must be a lot longer than that.
All 4 years have put us back to 2020.
Yeah, but the Mini 3 Pro's been out 2 years now.
Yeah, well, I know they pushed out quite a few drones within the same year for a while there. They're pushing out.
I mean, if you're going all the way back to the original Mini, it was sort of like 2018, wasn't it?
No, it had to be the 2020s when the minis first hit the market.
So the same thing with the, if you have the, the RC Pro
Mhm.
and you put the Air Data app on there, it's gonna automatically pick it up?
Yeah, if you can put the app on the controller, it will work. And that's all, that was always the issue with those. Cause see, when the minis came out, that's when DJI switched from the Go 4 app to the Fly app,
Yeah.
when those minis came out. And that's why I say, Mark, I don't think it was till 2020 until that happened. If my memory serves me right, if anybody's got the time,
Yeah,
I'll look
yeah.
it up as I'm talking to look up
I'm
the
just
the date.
going to do a search on YouTube and see when the first videos for the Mini were brought out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to, maybe it's through Firefox, because it's got Firefox on there.
Right.
Air Data.
Okay. I mean, there's so many out here. You type in mini drone, you get about a 24 worth of pop-up information, and none of us when you first say first release.
Oh, you just say DJI Mini.
Yeah, that's why I did DJI Mini first release, and it's like, which one? And once it take you down this rabbit hole, like I get 2024. I said, I don't want 2024.
Well, Air Photography's DJI Mavic Mini Beginner's Guide was done 4 years ago. So
yeah, 2020. So like I say,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing is when the Fly app is where the killer is. When they introduced the Fly app, that is where the cutoff points is.
yeah, Dustin Dunnell's was 4 years ago as well. So yeah, it looks like it's right. Yeah.
Yeah, 2020. So like I said, those who use the Fly app, those are the ones that are getting cut off. And like I said, all those controllers that came with those drones were not capable of adding third-party apps. If you try to side load it or anything else, as they say, the dirty word of hacking it, it just wouldn't work. So that's going to be the cutoff. If you use the Fly app, you're going to be cut off from Air Data. And that even goes for the second generations of the Pilot 2 app, which is on my RC Pros. So now I may have to go back and use Drone Deploy more than I use the Pilot 2 app to do most of my enterprise work. I know I'm thrilling you, Dan, but if I bring up the term, was it 3DR solo, you might perk up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a dead bird now, man. It's got no support. Nobody wants to stand behind it anymore, so I dropped it.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it happens, man.
Unfortunate. It had so much potential.
Yeah, just like I said about X Dynamics, so much potential, but they had to fill up their tents and go away too. And stuff. And I was thinking about buying one. I saw one on eBay as cheap as $300, brand new in the box.
Yep.
And I was tempted to buy it, and I said, "Why am I going to buy it when I think B&H is the only one that sells a battery for it?" And then the kicker was, well, they built this thing prior to remote ID, and I don't know if it's even remote ID compatible. All right, then I got to go out and buy a module for it. I'm like, nah.
I mean, the GoPro Karma, I know everybody was like, oh, this is such a stupid drone, right? What?
I had one of
Release date
those things and I crashed it.
Yeah, but so GoPro, this is the final couple months left on their ability to keep it closed source, and then they're going to release the data. They're going to release the coding for it. So that means anybody that has a Karma still, now you're going to have full access to the ability to alter and change features and do whatever you want and add to the system. So that will be GitHub released in, I want to say, like 2 months. So if you have a Karma still, you're about to have a drone that you can have a lot of fun with.
So it has the potential of having a cult following.
Right. Just like the Solo did. Unfortunately,
Right.
the company servicing has ended, but if you still have one and you want to tinker, now's the time.
Okay.
Man, I wish I wouldn't have crashed. I wish I wouldn't have crashed my Karma. I still would have had it.
Didn't that guy that turned up to last year's Florida meetup have about 7 of them?
I don't know, dude. They sell for dirt cheap now. The problem is most of them are crashed. The ones that I see, they're like $100 crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or worse
So
yet,
Dan,
you get one with no batteries.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
then
Well,
you
that's the
got
thing.
you got to fish around, no batteries, or the batteries they sell you are dead. So
You know
basically
what
no
Dan will
battery.
do.
I know. That's why I said that there may be a market
I'm
for you to
waiting.
get back in it, dude.
I'm waiting, bro. As soon
Yeah.
as there's money to be made, I'm in.
Yeah, I heard that. So yeah, like I said, I flew yesterday, and I say my Phantom 4 RTK drone flew with no problems, but that uses the DJI, I guess, GS Pro software because I have it with the controller and everything. So Air Data is already on that, and it uploaded right to my Air Data account with no problems. I'm supposed to be flying, doing some solar work today, which is I'll be free flying then, but see, I use the DJI Mavic Enterprise Advance, which is a pretty much Go 4 app on that. So if that uploads, like I say, in the email I got from Air Data, it specifically said that the Fly app and it said the Pilot 2 app will be effective. So I took that as, okay, if you got something older like me, I got the Go drones that use the Go 4 app. I even got some old Phantom 3 Pros sitting around here that use the original Go app. They're still golden. They're going to work and still collect the data and everything else, but it's going to be that swath of area where it has driven probably the drone community to the levels that we have now. People having these mini drones, because you don't hear people talking too much about, yeah, I bought a Spark way back in the day that's been sitting in the closet for the last 8 years, you know. But you hear people talk about, well, I bought a mini and I've been flying in the backyard with that, you know, and all this kind of stuff. Or you get the people who, like photographers, who bought a mini to add to their work level, workflow, and now they got to look at maybe purchasing something else. That all depends if your data is important to you. That's one thing you look at. Most people on the hobbyist side are really not keen on the data. Yes.
No, wait, it's not done.
Okay. Not keen on keeping their data. For me, it's essential because if anything happens, like I had an incident the other day, you know, that data, being able to show the police that data made the difference, you know, off air data. So
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. It all depends on what you do and everything else. So a lot of hobbyists, no big deal. They don't worry about it. You know, they don't think it's going to affect them. But I always look at, like anything else, these are first major steps that if DJI is ready to take a step like this, what's going to be the next step? That's the question you got to ask yourself. What's going to be the
It
next
doesn't look
step?
like it's going to let me do it on the what you call it, on the RC Pro.
Yeah, won't let you upload.
Well, I'm on
Right.
Google Store. I've got it and everything,
Right.
and it says install on more devices. I press that and it won't do anything.
Yeah. So there you go. And now, like on the older controllers, what was it? The old days of using, because I always had, like with Litchi, always had to have 2 accounts for Litchi, one for certain controllers, and I had to use the Amazon store for other controllers. I think it was with the Crystal Skies that I had to go through the Amazon store to upload Litchi onto those. And then with the regular phones, I used, you know, Google app.
I found Litchi to be unstable, so I stopped using it.
Is that right? It's worked for me flawlessly. But like I say, it works better with the older drones because with the newer mini drones with the Fly app, it's a virtual stick. With the older ones, it uploads everything into the memory of the drone and it flies a lot smoother.
I guess what I should have said right, was it was unstable for the equipment I was using it with. Like
Yeah.
I think it's heavily dependent on cell phone that you have, carrier network. Like there's actually probably quite a bit involved in how it's going to uniquely work for your situation. So I was using it with what? The Phantom 3, Phantom 4, the Mini. I mean, I was using it for stuff that was relevant to the app. It seemed unstable. It could have just been the device I was using. I don't know.
Yeah, I have it on all my smart controllers because that's
Yeah.
I use it on for that. And then, like I say, I have it on the Apple pad that I fly with the Phantoms.
Right,
ahead,
but you're
Dan.
using it with Apple.
Well, no, this with the Phantoms. I have an Apple the Phantom, but then I have the Android version for on the smart controllers that I'll fly with the Mavic 2 Pro.
Okay.
So I both platforms I've used it on, never had an issue. Only issue I've heard or read about is those who use it based off the Go 4 app and those who use it off the Fly app.
Hmm.
Those have been the issue because even my older Phantom 3 Pros, they fly smoothly with that sucker. No problems at all. And that's off
like-
the
I
iOS platform.
Yeah, I like the fact that Litchi's got the waypoints on it.
Well, that's what I primarily use it for, is for waypoint flights.
Yeah.
And stuff.
But
Yeah.
what
That
I'd
was
love,
why.
what I'd love to know is, would there be a way of exporting a waypoint mission that you've created on Litchi and importing it to the DJI's version of waypoints that they've now got on the Mavic 3, the Air 3, and the Mini 4?
I'm gonna say before Dre responds to that, I'm gonna say no because Litchi and DJI don't. There's a reason why they say if you use Litchi, we're not gonna cover any of your drones. Like they're not going to make it so they can communicate in any kind of
Actually,
format. I
if
would
you-
think because it's third party.
If you crash using Litchi, DJI will still honor Care Refresh.
Is that accurate, Dre? Because I thought they said if anybody's using third party software, that was a big no.
I think in the early years it was, but I think DJI has relaxed that requirement, or I say restriction, that third-party software is that because especially those in the commercial realm, we have to use third-party software on a lot of the flights back then before the Pilot app came on board. So you were forced to use Pix4D, Drone Deploy. Now you got Drone Link that you were trying to sell me on for a while back there.
Hmm.
And now you got Hammer missions and what's the other one there? Maven over in the UK, which is like a twin sister to Litchi.
Well, heck, you still got Mission Planner
Maven's
software.
got some better
Right.
features than Litchi, actually.
I would
well,
say that the best one out of all of them is Mission Planner because you can calculate the craziest amount of data through Mission Planner, like down to the T of speeds and circular motions and height values, and like you
Right.
can really go in depth.
Yeah, Litchi was like that in the earlier versions, but now as the drones have evolved and the phones and everything else, and everybody's kind of getting a little protective of their own technology. It used to be you can plan a Litchi mission in the mission hub. It would automatically let you view that mission in flight on your desktop through Google Earth.
Right.
And that way you knew exactly what was going to hit. If you're going to run into the ground or run into a tree, bush, you can adjust the height, the speed, everything.
On the fly?
On the fly. On the fly,
Yeah.
you can do it. Or even on your desktop while you're still looking at where you can go out to the field. You
Right.
could,
I
like I said,
think-
you do a
I think the
pre-flight right
Maven
there at
app
home.
the Maven app still does that.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I know Maven was a big hot thing about a year and a half ago that it kind of, relaxed because I hardly ever see any people from the UK talk about it much anymore in their videos.
Windswept Robert uses it.
Yeah, Windswept was one of the ones that was really talking
Yeah.
about it. He compared it from one to the other, and it's not a great difference. Like anything else that you use in life, the one you use more often, the one you become more comfortable with, that's the
Yeah.
one you're going to stick with. That's
The
just
thing is that now DJI Fly will allow you to do pretty much all the same things as Litchi and Maven that nobody really
Right,
bothers buying
right.
it except for
I-
older drones for doing stuff like
I,
that.
I think the bigger thing, Mark, is that people who are more recently gotten into drones, don't have that type of adventurous type mindset. They want everything in one package.
Yeah.
So people sit there and say, okay, I just want to do a time lapse or hyperlapse. I can do 2 waypoints for them, point A to point B, maybe point 3, and do a hyperlapse because they're not interested in flying down range and doing and getting and setting up a point of interest and all this kind of stuff, which gives you that cinematic view. And that's what made Litchi so popular because you could plan out a cinematic flight, adjust the gimbal and everything all at one time. And that thing will fly. Like last I tell people, I said the value of that program was that as a human being, we cannot duplicate something that complicated over and over again. It will change. Something will change at some point. The speed will slightly change, or the gimbal axle will slightly change, or the direction will slightly change. We'll get close, but we can't duplicate it. Programs like Maven, Litchi, Hammer, and all the rest of them, they can duplicate it over and over again. And like for me, I go out and do sites every month, and I need to repeat that flight every month, the exact same flight. And that's where the value of those programs came in. And just like the value of doing orthomosaics. You know, you go out there and you do that KML file, you upload it, and it flies the same route every time. And then you add things like GCPs on the ground control points, you add RTK, it is dead accurate every time. There's Mission Planner Home. Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've messed with this in a while, Dre. They've done an excellent job of updating this through ArduPilot over time. This is still probably one of the most comprehensive ones that I've ever seen to date. The amount of adjustability is just through the roof. And that's why I don't know why ArduPilot systems didn't do as well as the rest of them. It still blows my mind because you can simulate, like he was saying, you can simulate all your flights in here, right? You can calculate for each aircraft. So even if you weren't using this with, let's say, a drone and you wanted to do it with a Parrot Disco, you could still do that on here with the same parameters. This allowed you probably the largest database of aircraft to work with. People use this for crop dusting stuff, man. Like full-blown aircraft crop dusting. They will set up entire missions, when to deploy payloads, but like I said, once again, in my mind, this is the pinnacle of what they have created versus everything else that's out there. This is pretty in-depth stuff. This isn't something I would say a newbie wants to jump into and try to learn. This is something that you're either in it to win it or not. You know what I'm saying? The learning curve for this is so excessive, but if you get it, man, the amount of stuff you can do with this app is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, let us go back to what I'm saying, that people who, the last 4 years wanted that all-in-one package deal on one controller, didn't have to add no software to it, anything else. And DJI spoon-fed them a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Simplified it and just gave it, okay, you can do this. Just like when everybody was talking about the, what was it called? The smart automatic flights. And I'm sitting there saying that none of this is new because this was in back in the Go 4 days, the regular Go app that you could do with the Phantoms and even with the Spark. They had automatic flights in them. You just went to the menu selection and picked which one you wanted. But they made that such a big deal back when the Air 2 first came out and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there thinking, I said, wait a minute, this stuff was already there. It's just now they're really emphasizing it. Just like they talk about this, what was it other I think it was last year, everybody was talking about the self-fly mode or something, basically something that's already been around for at least 6-7 years. And it was just a set directional that you could tell your drone, okay, start here and keep flying that direction over there until I tell you to stop. That's been around since the Phantom 3. You could do that. Original that was one of the big things with the original Inspire. You just told it to go fly in a certain direction and you keep doing it until I tell you to stop. And you didn't have to touch the controls, which allowed you to move the camera around and do everything else that you want to do and not have to worry about where the drone is flying. So that's why I kind of get it when people get all this ooh and ah, and I'm thinking, okay, I cannot be the only one that's been around that just does not get all moist between the legs and stuff when this stuff comes out. I said it's already been around.
Cool cat. It's not that it wasn't successful. It is successful in certain areas. That's the thing with mission planners, that your average noob isn't going to pick it up. This
Right.
is for advanced pilots that, like, Hollywood would find mission planner to be very good for what they do, especially when they run timing sequences on chases and things
Right.
like that through the
Yes.
city. That's where
Mhm.
mission planner would really shine. There's certain areas where it does really well, which it's also open source. Like it's free software that can be added to at any point in time of people. And that's what I think makes it unique, is that at any point in time, people can add to it. Like, oh, it doesn't have this feature, let's add it in real quick. And then a group of people just come together, boom, knock it out. Now you add that to Mission Planner, and it gives the ability is just untapped. That's what makes it so cool. So that's not for everybody. That's for advanced people that want to actually sit down, take the time to learn it. But if you do, I promise you, will open up a world of jobs to yourself.
And you hit the nail on the head there, Dan. We talk about the movie sets where, like you said, you may have to duplicate that same flight
Mhm.
that you can't do manually, where it needs to do the same thing. And only thing might need to change is maybe the camera angle needs to be tilted a little bit, this degree, that degree, something you cannot, repeat physically as a human being.
Right.
And that's where these mission planners itself, or Litchi, or some of the other ones, this is where they come into play. And like you said, that's a little bit beyond these, hobbyists who
Yeah.
do stuff.
Yeah, it was probably some of the most fun time I've ever had messing with drones. I realized the capabilities are not what you're being offered at the store. Like, that's such a simplified version of what these things can
Right.
actually do.
Right.
You're getting
Right.
just a very user-friendly experience when they're, just
Mhm.
out of the box. Oh, plug it in. Oh, do this. That. Oh, it flies.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Right.
like, oh, there's so much more to this if you really want to have fun.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people, when I got into it, that's the route I took, was to really learn to fly the drone manually.
Right.
And then I got into the software. I said, oh, this is even better, So now I can imagine in my head what I want to do, and then
Yep.
I can plan it out.
Yep.
So that's all I tell people. I said, people ask me, well, how did you learn to do this? And I said, you know what? I said, my days 20 years ago running a backhoe. If you're ever been on a backhoe, it is a 4-dimensional device. You have your hand controls and you have your feet controls. And you look at your own hand and look all the things it can do like that. And a backhoe can do the same thing.
Right.
All at the same time.
Yeah, that and
You-
you're operating 4 switches at one time, 2
That's
paddles,
my whole
and you're right.
That's my whole point.
Yep.
And I say a drone can be operated the same way. That's why I tell people, I said, a lot of people used to talk about orbits. I said, orbits is just a singular move. I said, man, when you can orbit and ascend or descend from your altitude, and doing the same time, you use that. If you're not a thumber, you use that index finger to also adjust the gimbal to maintain your what's the term I'm looking for? Your framing shot. I said, now you're operating on a three dimension level.
Mhm.
You're doing 3 different things at one time. And I said, that's the difference between just flying and this being cinematic flying. And that's why I tell people, I said, look at what you see on television. Look at the commercial, all the angles of these shots that they're doing simultaneously and stuff. I said, you can do that yourself with a drone if you just learn to go out and practice it, and everything else. You got to go out and practice it. This doesn't come automatically and stuff.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to fly those angles. You gotta have an eye for it. You
Yeah,
saw that
you got-
one little 1 minute I did of the state capitol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That one is thinking of everything I've seen,
Yeah.
Problem
So-
is, man, overwhelming majority of the drone community just wants simplified.
Well,
They just
yeah.
want simple.
And that's what it is. We people, just like with the situation we're in now. I'm not going to dwell on the past. It's like we're in the situation we're in now with this proposed bills and everything else. Now everybody wants to get excited, which people who have heard me on shows and everything else. I've been talking about this. I said, hey, when these bills get rolling and they don't die off quickly, It's just a matter of time when they get to momentum, or a matter of time when they can slip it into another bill and it goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
And now we're at the doorstep of who knows what's going to happen. Because like I say, I heard somebody say, Joe was reading a response he got from his local representative. I said, those are boilerplate responses that we get back, because no politician in their right mind, well, I'm not going to say no politician, but politicians usually don't want to, in other words, show their cards until they vote. So that way they can always say at the end, if they voted on the right side or the wrong side, depending on what side you're on, they can always say, well, hey, it was a last minute information from the FBI, CIA, or some other alphabet soup agency came and gave us a briefing. So we felt it was in the best interest of yada, yada, whoever, whatever, all this kind of stuff. But you and I all know where all this stuff is coming from behind the scenes, from people who are just trying to bolster their bottom line. And that's what it comes down to, bottom line. What's going to be my profit margin down the road? If I become the top dog in the supplier of the industry, my bottom line goes up. Simple as that. Because I have now successfully eliminated the competition to almost nothing. DJI will still be sold in the United States, not at the level they are now. Like I say, they might disappear off the Best Buy shelves and stuff. It's going to hurt a lot of, and when people realize it's going to hurt a lot of resellers, because if we cannot get anything in the future, what are resellers going to do who sell primarily only enterprise drones? Those are whole livelihoods that you're cutting off. Like I told people the other day, I said, B&H, they're a photography company. Okay, they'll just keep pushing what they always push, photography stuff. Okay, what you're talking about, Delbo's company and his partner, Drone Nerds, also DSLR out here in the West Coast, Adventure, who's out here, I think, in West Coast and East Coast facility. A lot of these other smaller mom and pop level resellers are going to get killed, because most of those guys only supply enterprise level equipment.
Hey, Dre, what do you think the possibility is that the government will push DJI to sell that part of their business to an American company?
You got to look at the reality of things. I think they pretty much know that's not going to happen unless Frank Wayne decides to come back to America. He was educated here at Harvard or Yale, one of the two places, and took that knowledge and technology back home to China, where he knew he can get the financial support from. And that's where DJI came from, which we do a lot of times. We educate the most smartest intellectual people on the planet and a lot of them take their stuff and go back home. And because they know they can get the support from the whole country to produce their products. Or here in the United States, you got to find investors. And if you don't find enough investors or get enough invested, you may sink or swim. And that's why today we don't have a consumer level manufacturer in the United States. The few that were doing a few things have all gone away because they could not.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
I gotta
Dan.
head out here, guys.
Okay,
Sorry.
Dan,
All right.
take care.
All right, Dan, we'll see you.
Later.
Yeah. So as I was saying that, it's like, catching lightning in a bottle. Sometimes it catches and you can run with it. And, it turns into something big. I mean, we look at the Jeff Bezos with Amazon starting in a garage. You look at Microsoft, started in the garage. Some things, right time, right place, boom, it's right there. But for most people, it's all about financial investments that are backing your product. And here in the United States, people are so concerned with making profits so fast, they're not into long-term investments. They talk about, I need a return on my investment within about 2 to 3 years. So it is a gamble, and now we find ourselves where we're at today.
Shit, man, I just hope they don't pass that thing to where we can't fly our drones anymore. I don't know what I would do with myself if I couldn't fly
Yeah.
my drones anymore.
Yeah, that FCC initiative is critical. It's one thing to ban future sales of DJI drones or Chinese drones, as I like to refer to, because people are so focused on DJI itself because they are king of the hill. But the way the bill is written as of today, it talks about Chinese manufactured drones. That means that includes Autel, that includes Unique, that includes DJI, and just about every other,
FEMA,
right, FEMI, all those companies that are all based out of China. Now they may have corporate offices here in the United States, but their manufacturing and supplies all still come out of China. And that's why I even tell the guys out of the FPV community, hang on, because all those parts they buy for motors and I guess they call it, the whatever navigation chips and all this kind of stuff, they're all Chinese made. So what's going to happen is that it's going to be such a short supply of this stuff, the price is going to go sky high. So now you're looking at spending 2 to 3 times more to stay in the FPV hobby. So it's going to have a large ripple effect across the community, from hobbyists to commercial operators like myself. It is going to have a very large ripple effect. And I'm just talking end users right now. You got to look at how it's going to affect the different industries that use drones.
Or Dre industries in general. I mean, look at the automotive industry.
Well, that's just what I'm saying.
If the government decides that you can't use any Chinese products or any parts or whatever in anything manufactured in the U.S., it'll cripple us.
Right. That's my whole point. This has a very large ripple effect across industries, automotive, construction, gas and power. A lot of these industries, even like I say, construction and gas and power directly use drones themselves. Okay. Yep. Just about anything we use electronically in America has Chinese parts in it. Phones, computers, all the stuff has Chinese parts in it. And sometimes it has China written right on the chip.
You will find that nearly every car built today has a product made by Autel in it.
Yes. If you have the what do you call it, the interface port, which has been every car made since 1990s going forward, has that interface port. I forgot what they call it. That, like I said, the best Autel gear I have is my reader out in the garage. So when that check engine light comes on, I plug that sucker up and I look what the code is.
Yeah.
That's the best Autel product I ever owned right there.
What's it called?
I forgot the name of the port, but it's a certain port, and they're on version 2 of it right now. But yeah, that's a Chinese product. You know, so it's in every vehicle made across the globe. It allows you to be able to check engine light, see what the codes are. A lot of times you get codes that are very frivolous, something you can fix yourself, or just needs to be diagnostically checked, or you can actually clear the code, whatever the case is, and keep on moving. So it's like I said, it's going to have a giant ripple effect across the entire industry that what we see today.
OBD2.
Yeah, OBD2. Yep, that is it. It's that I would say D-shape, not a ring, but device that has about 15 to 20 pins in it, and
it's a D-type connector.
Yeah. But that's another point for automotive. But like I said, with drones itself, there's a lot of industries that specifically use drones. Now, you talk about drones. Now, we always think drones is flying out. Drones are basically any unmanned units. So even these so-called security dogs that we've seen come to fruition over the last 6-7 years, come out of MIT and all this kind of stuff, the robots, them parts didn't come off the Radio Shack because there ain't no more Radio Shacks. So those parts had to be made and
Robotics.
manufactured. Yeah, robotics. Yeah.
All the,
Man,
every single car assembly line.
if that law gets passed, which I hope it doesn't, the only drone that I'll be flying is this guy right here in my little Potensic. They don't have control over these.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and you don't have the
Still
same
Chinese.
control over it either.
I mean, this has no GPS or anything. All it requires is batteries, like little lithium ion batteries. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but Potensic is still Chinese.
Yeah.
yeah,
So you
but
you may have a classic on your hand there, TJ.
yeah.
An instant classic. Can no longer get these anymore, so it's a classic.
Yeah. Just
So-
change the name to Potensic to Classic.
Yeah, you call it classic Potensic. Yeah, this is a classic
Yeah.
model here. You know, can't get these anymore, bud. So,
Yeah.
so you have to pay me quite a few more dollars for it if you want it.
Yeah.
So that's always a deal there. But like I said, this is I'm like everybody else. I was always fearful of this passing, especially I told people, I said, especially when I saw the TikTok proposal go through. They slid it under another bill under the funding for Ukraine and Israel. They slid that TikTok bill in there with that, so they knew they would get passed. But nobody wants to be on the wrong side of history and not voting to support Israel or Ukraine. So it got passed, and no one didn't blink an eye because the TikTok bill was in the same bill overall. And I think if this right here doesn't get passed outright, that would be one of the next moves that the Stefanik crew will try to do, is slide this in under another bill, which they know will get overall support across the board. And people will not bat an eye about it because it would not be talked about. And that's what my concern has been more than anything else, is that support's going to come somewhere, because this, and not to point fingers at any particular group or individuals, but we all are more aware that China has been an issue for America since the 70s. I'll put it right there. And that's why it was such a big deal when Nixon went to China. So China has always been there as a manufacturer competitor for the last 50 plus years. And we have danced around it. Every administration has tried to negotiate different deals, different plans with China since. And now it's gotten to the point to where China is, like I say, they're on the same level as we are. When it comes to manufacturing. Matter of fact, they have surpassed us because of manufacturing. I remember back in what was the early 90s, when out here in the West Coast, China came and bought Kaiser Steel. They bought the whole plant, took it apart, and shipped it back to China. Took the whole steel manufacturing plant, disassembled it, put it on ships, and sent it back to China. And that property today is where the California Speedway sits today. My grandfather worked there for some 28 years in the coke ovens, making steel. And now that plant is sitting somewhere in China. So we have allowed our manufacturing base, in the name of environmental protection and safety of our environment, which I have no problem with that either. Sometimes you just got to learn to have a balance of both. You just can't go one way or another, because if you see pictures of places in China, it is a continual haze of smog all over the whole country. And that's why people don't even know what clean air is all about, because they have been manufacturing stuff for decades now. This is not.
Why you think they're so short?
They close to the ground.
They're so short because they got to keep underneath all that toxic air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see
So,
God
that's
had
why-
a plan.
That's why I tell people, Joe, all the time, I said, don't think this happened within the last couple of years. It has just
Yeah.
gotten to the level, And I had to go back to 2016 where, the Trump administration wanted to bring it to the forefront and make it a priority one issue. And now this is where it stays at.
He
And I
is
think-
really the only guy you can blame for the way things have got at the moment.
Well,
Without
I don't
Trump, none of this
disblame.
would have happened.
Well, I don't just blame him. But like I said, this whole China stuff goes back to the 70s, and for the most part. And like I say, if you go back and look at every administration from Ford to Carter, Reagan, Bush, Obama, whoever, they all had to have these big talks with China about trade. Always about trade. Okay.
And you know the daft thing about it is that Trump owns hotels in Hong Kong and various other places in China.
Well, like I say, Hong Kong belonged to the British up until when they had turned over in 1990.
1990 something.
Something.
Long
They had-
time back.
The British had turned over to China and stuff. So, like I say, this stuff is, like I tell people, you need to learn our history, first of all. You need to learn our history so you have a better grasp of what has occurred over time and what we have before us today. So when we have bills from Congressperson Stefanik and others, this is not something that just brewed up out of her head. This is something that should have been handled 20, 30 years ago and not gotten to this level, but we kept negotiating, kept appeasing and kept thinking that, we'll catch up, we'll get back on top. But like anything else, if you don't take no initiatives to be on top, it is not going to happen through osmosis. It's not going to happen just out of one day. They're going to stop doing stuff over there. Like I say, most of our large corporations in America, if they're manufacturing something, just like Apple and a few others, they send their manufacturing process overseas, either Mexico, Vietnam, Malaysia, the Philippines, China, you name it. Something is being made because the labor cost is a lot less. And that's just economics 101 right there. Like I say,
Now-
to make an Apple phone here in America, we're complaining about $1,500 phones now. If Apple phones were made in America, it'd be the haves and have-nots of somebody owning an Apple
Only
phone.
person could own that is Elon.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It'd be the haves and have-nots because it would cost 3 times as much more to have a phone made here in America than it is to have it made somewhere in Malaysia, Vietnam, or China.
Or
And
India.
that's our India. That's just economics 101. So, like I say, because of our lifestyles here in America, particularly, or even in Canada, or the UK, or some we call our so-called high-end Western civilizations, because of our lifestyles and the way we want to live and how we live, we have priced ourselves out of the manufacturing market.
Yeah, I mean, a half decent job in the Philippines only pays like $10 a day.
Mhm.
That's why it's so cheap for getting things from places
Right.
like that.
Mhm.
The
Right.
wages are crap. But then again, when we go on holiday there,
Mhm. Well, we
You-
appreciate them cheap prices, don't we?
we're amazed at how cheap the prices of buying stuff is. Until you go into a restaurant or a hotel or a bar and they realize you're foreign,
Yeah.
the prices go up by 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I say, we are of our own demise because of the lifestyles that we want to lead. And I'll say nothing wrong with that. I enjoy my lifestyle. I've worked for what the lifestyle I have, just as Joe has worked for his, Paul has worked for his, and
Yeah.
TJ's working on his, and Lance is working on his. And I say, hey, I like to be able to go and fill my car with gas any day of the week without thinking about it, go where I want to go without carrying papers,
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff, and not think twice. Go down and get me another car because not because my other car broke down and it's because I feel like getting something a little newer.
Yeah. Hey, Dre, I didn't
Yeah.
laugh just now when you said that. I was watching Lance's video on the side, and he said the Avata 2, I don't like it much. He said that made me laugh.
No, I wasn't really worried about that. No, but I always tell folks, I said, you gotta learn our history, man. History, what goes on, and you have a better understanding why we are.
So
And
how rude do you think you're going to be if they do pick Stefanik as the next vice president?
Oh, they're not gonna.
It's just like anything else in life, man. You know what? No matter who wins, they only got 4 years left. That's it.
Yeah.
They only got 4
Only gotta
years.
deal with it for 4 years.
All you gotta
Yeah.
do it 4 years. If Biden gets reelected, he only got 4 years. If Trump get elected, he only got 4 years.
You can
So
guarantee.
I survived the first 4 years of both.
Not
So
to
Dre,
talk
I guess we're gonna
politics,
be
but boy, those
I guess
two.
we're gonna be downloading the flights and uploading the flights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
what it
can-
looks like it's gonna happen because it's
Yeah, you
telling
can-
me
you
I
can-
went through that whole the thing that Waypoint sent. And
Mhm.
it's telling me what to do and everything else to get it to load on there, and it still won't do it.
Mm.
It tells me the devices they'll let me do it to, and it's not the RC Pro.
Mhm.
So I told it to allow all apps from Google from the Play Store,
Right.
and it tells me it's not available for that, so it won't work on the RC Pro. It might not
Yeah.
now. It might. They might fix it.
And that's and I said that's going to take a negotiation between Air Data and DJI to allow Air Data to be uploaded to the RC Pro, just like they did with Drone Deploy.
Right.
In the years past, the original smart controller would not allow you to add Drone Deploy on there. I mean,
Well,
I
you
tried side load, all that kind of stuff, never would work.
Well, you can add it to the smart controller,
Mm-hmm.
the Air Data to the smart controller. The one
I have it
Paul
on.
has.
I have it on my smart controllers. Yeah.
Yeah, it says smart controller, and when I
Mhm.
do that, it won't even highlight this one because it's different.
Right,
It's showing
right.
me it's not the right one.
Right.
So they'll probably do it in the future. But look, you got an SD card in there. It's just
Mhm.
one extra step. You just tell it to download those files,
Right.
and then you upload the files, and you're good.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's just going to be an extra little step.
It's just so much easier to sync them.
Oh, that's what I said. It was convenience to sync. It was something that we've been doing for years, since day one. And like we all say, unless like for me, I have to change a little bit of how I fly because I normally fly with an internet connection off my phone or whatever.
Yeah.
So that is something that I will have to change because even though I know I can still fly a lot of my stuff since I use the Pilot 2 app now and not so much on Drone Deploy, but I still have clients that want me to fly using their Drone Deploy accounts. Do I have to log in and I fly, and which means I have to have an internet connection for the Drone Deploy to operate correctly on my devices? Because it is a third-party app and it requires an internet connection for it to work properly on a device. So that's going to be the tricky part of, how do you get around it, or if you can get around it,
Yeah.
and go from there. And like I said before, when Dan was here, I said, for most hobbyists, a lot of them don't use their data. They're not concerned with the data that they're collecting or whatever. So it never goes anywhere. I say it stays on the controller, and that's about it. But as you get into people who are a little more serious, and those who are Part 107s, like you and I are, and Paul and so forth, that this may be something that you may need as far as your information about your drones, your flight routes, your maintenance of your drones, which is the biggest thing I like about it, is the maintenance. It tells me when I should, check it for cracks, tells me when I should be changing props, tells me about my batteries, which is something nothing in DJI can tell you.
Yeah, you're right.
Air Data is the only thing that I have seen that tells you about your battery conditions. And when you're out there flying in extreme heat, it'll send you a direct email message to you and says, hey, knucklehead, your battery is reaching critical heat levels. You might want to bring this back.
I think that's what happened with my Air 2S because I was flying it on Memorial Day. I stepped out on the patio because we normally have a flag out by our by the clubhouse where the tennis courts and everything are. We normally have a flag, so I wanted to go out there and take a picture, do like a little aerial shot. And I looked down at my screen. Next thing I knew, I couldn't see the drone. I couldn't see the camera. The whole screen had went black. So I had to get in my car with the controller and look for it somewhere in the complex. I'm like, where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? And it was just sitting there hovering in the sky by the clubhouse. It was weird.
Yeah. And that's why I tell people most of the time that when you fly in, I would say, especially like Florida, high humidity areas where the heat index is higher than what the actual temperature is, I should say the ambient temperature is, you got to be careful because, depending upon where that drone was sitting at, depending upon where your batteries are at, if they're already elevated in heat, it's going to exceed the maximum tolerance real fast because it generates heat as it's running. Okay?
Yeah.
So that means your controller is going to black out or the app's going to crash, or either the battery itself is going to get past that critical state. Usually once you get above 130 degrees, you start into that critical zone with batteries. And that's why the new design of the Mavic 3 Enterprise or Mavic 3 itself and on up, the M30T has a fan on it, like the old Phantom 3s used to have, had a fan on it and stuff. That this is what part of the purpose is to keep those batteries cooler so they can fly longer and no matter what type of temperature they're in. So it helps regulate the temperature of the batteries itself, because that's one of the things you're going to have an issue with is battery life, because any type of electronics generates heat.
Right.
So if you're already in a ambient high level area like Florida, you got to worry about, okay, I need to make sure I keep my drone and especially the batteries in the vehicle with the AC going, keep them cool as possible and stuff. And even when you finish flying, get them back in that cool area to let them cool down as fast as possible. A lot of folks take the batteries out, throw them in their bag, and
don't put them in your case.
Yeah, I can say next thing you know, they talk about, well, my battery swelled up. I said, because you didn't allow it to cool off. So it's like I say, even when you take it out of the drone, it still has a certain level of heat and it needs to dissipate.
And when it's 96 degrees, it's kind of hard to cool it off.
Yeah, that's it. So what happens is it swells. And
but if it's 120, if it's at 125 and it's 96, it's gonna go down.
Yeah.
So I'm at number 83rd, my 83rd flight yesterday on the Nevada 2. So I'm about to hit 100 on that sucker. And that's since the 11th. That's since I might hit 100 before 2 months.
So Lance, on your Avata 2, you said you flew it in like slow motion or something, and you didn't like the slow motion feature.
Well, I think you
I love it. The slow motion feature rocks. 100 frames a second. My goodness, that camera is amazing. Probably the best part of the only thing I like. That's probably the only thing I like about it.
Now,
I thought there was something on there that you didn't like or whatever.
You know what I don't like?
Oh yeah, the motion controller.
Yeah. Now, Lance, is 100 frames per second just for slow mo, or you can shoot 100 frames per second in like any mode?
Yeah. So if you watch my video, everything's 100 frames, but then I can slow it down to 25%. And when I fly through that little ship with all the wires, with all the cables or the ropes, it is so smooth. When I chase the boat and the wake of the boat, those waves are so cool looking. I mean, it's not, 30 frames. You can tell it's not 30 frames a second.
Is this a new video? I saw where you were flying out there in the water yesterday, I think it was, and you had the rigging of the was it Mary Washington ship or whatever it's called?
Yes, Lady Washington. Yes,
Lady Washington ship.
That's the 100 frames. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Okay, it did look very crispy. I like that.
Yeah. So
Very nice.
the whole video was 100 frames, and I just slowed it down where I wanted to.
Oh, okay.
You know, the drawback is you can't use the acro features in 100 frames a second, and it's kind of wonky to get there. You have to turn the camera to manual mode, then you have to go into the camera, then you have to go up and change it to 100. If you don't change it to manual, you won't see the 100 frames a second when you go back into the camera piece.
Oh, okay.
And it took me a minute to find it, but maybe I'll do a video on that.
I see Waypoint said that he had the AirData app works perfectly on his RC Pro. Actually, not sure if it will work next week. Yeah, I don't know.
RC Pro?
He said here it works perfectly on his RC Pro. And I was like, okay, I was going to ask him, how did he get it? Did he go through Google Store to get it installed on there, or how did he get it installed? Did he side load it or what?
It must have side loaded it because it's not letting me load it through the Google Store.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I say. It's
'Cause I
always
was
the
thinking-
question.
Yeah, I was thinking about side loading it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, send me the information on how you side loaded it or where you got the app to side load it from. Because when I went to do it, it gave me some beta apps, but then it wouldn't load.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me all kind of crap. I might have to do it somewhere else and get it on a card and take it off a card.
Yeah.
Does
That's what I was thinking.
Does AirData actually have an app, or is it just web-based?
No, there's an app.
No, there's an app because I put it on my old Crystal Skies. I got it on my my original smart controllers. It's had an app, you know. But I'm trying to think, did I have to get the app through Google or did I have to get it through Amazon? Because I know like Litchi, I had to go through Amazon to put it on the smart controller. I had to go to the Amazon store, and which I already bought it there once before. And then I was able to download it onto the smart controllers because the Google app doesn't work on the smart controllers anymore. They stopped that 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
Yeah, you have to go into the DJI website to download the Fly app now as well, don't you? On a Google.
Yeah, something like
Android. Yeah.
And Dre, do you mean you had to go into the DJI download, not the Amazon download?
No, I actually had to go. Well, it was a thing that you had to side load the Amazon app onto the controller. And once that took hold, then you would click on that, and then go to the browser, and then you would look it up. And yeah. I'm going to the link that Waypoint has, and I'm about to see here, and I'm gonna break out one of my RC Pro controllers and see and go through it right here because it goes to AirData, and it says download the AirData UAV app on the RC Pro. Click setting application. So I'm gonna go there and see what happens. So I can say the same thing with Amazon. When I did do Litchi, same thing. You had to go through a different route because the Google thing wouldn't do it.
Okay.
And stuff. So that's that. Well, thank you, Waypoint. We'll see what happens here. And I said, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I looked at that too, and I'm gonna take my time later when I'm not distracted.
Yeah, same here. And see what's going on because like I say, I still use Litchi, especially like I said, I used it last week or so. It comes in handy when you're doing orbits and stuff. I mean, I can fly an orbit in my sleep, but if I can just have it already preset when I get there, load it up, let the drone go, and I'm like, okay, that's one less thing I got to worry about. And like I said, it's so efficient. Where something might take me 10 minutes to fly around a nice orbit around a house, it takes it about 4 minutes. So I'm saving myself a lot of time.
I got to go check out Lance's latest video. He gets fancy.
Yeah.
Well,
He goes forward. He goes forward.
I watched like
he backs up, then he comes back in slow motion.
Well, I think he's trying to keep up with you and Johnny.
I don't do all that extra crap.
Yeah, well, like I say, that's how he keeps up. He said, y'all keep pushing each other. It's, oh, look at Lance. I can do that. And then you do something, Lance said, well, I can do that. Yeah,
Oh, that
Waypoint.
water
Yeah,
looks beautiful.
yeah, I had to buy Litchi on both the Amazon platform and the Google app platform to make sure all of my devices were covered. Once you make that purchase, you can put it on as many devices you want. I mean, to me, I have, it was a $24 is not going to kill. I mean, you ask anybody in here, $24 that's peanuts. Go buy some ND filters. Go buy some more props. I've seen you exceed $24 in equipment. Oh, I got Johnny's attention. See, he don't popped up in here.
But Johnny been listening. Oh, come on.
Yeah. So,
Loki says hello to y'all.
and so whenever I do need Litchi for whatever purpose, it's always comfort to know that it's there for me. And like I said, with the older drones that I use, it works flawlessly for the most part. You never have an issue with it. It plays well in controlled airspace just as much as in Class G airspace. As long as you have the authorizations on your controller or in your drone, you don't have much problem at all.
This is the dog right here that if you tried to hold him, he'd growl at you the whole time. Now he'll sit up here for a little while and he'll lay on me like this, but then he'll start getting antsy like he's doing, and then he'll go. It's
All right, put me down now. It's like, all right, put me down.
Just like my drone, it'll growl at me like that as well.
When you said that, Lance, it just reminded me everybody was all fascinated with the original FPV drone when it used to boot up and it made that growl noise and lights and stuff. I don't hear anybody mention that anymore, do they?
This dog has a tongue that is so long that when he sits there, about an inch of it sticks out.
Yeah, I think I see it. Like his tongue's kind of sticking out a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in his mouth. It's got about a half inch that sits out most of the time.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
I think some of the female dogs love him. All except for Cleo. He gets anywhere near Cleo, she growls at him.
Well, Mr. Murray, I'm going to tiptoe off, partner. I appreciate you letting me come in.
All right, Jay. We'll see you. Have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye.
Later, Dre. Johnny cut the grass. Oh, you know you had your grandkids doing it.
Right. I thought they were supposed to do that. You just like record them with the drone cutting the grass.
But hey, he thought to give me that side eye.
No.
Give me that side eye. You ready to get down? But he never let anybody. He doesn't like anybody to really hold on to him. That's just the way, because he was actually kind of mistreated with my daughter. She would yell at him. She'd hit him and yell at him and all the time. And he's like he's from the hood.
I don't know, man. If I ever saw somebody like beating up a dog or whatever, I think I'd have to go up there with a stick and hit him a couple times.
I never saw it happen. But people that saw it happen told me that she'd get mad at him and she'd slap him or yell at him or hit him, and he's like, if he gets a loud noise, he'll duck behind something like that. He's like he's from the hood, you know.
Damn.
You grew up in the hood. If I clap my hands right now, if I could clap my hands right now, if a loud noise, he'd jump right out my arms.
Oh.
Probably bite me on the way off.
Yeah, probably. I bet if you put him in a big mound of snow, you wouldn't be able to see him.
Well, it snowed here a few years ago. We brought him out and he could not, he loved it. He was flying, rolling around in it and everything else.
Oh, really?
My other Pomeranian was having a blast in it. And Cleo, the little Chihuahua, she looked at me like, get me the hell out of here.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes. Oh, this my man.
All right, yo. Well, I think I'm gonna hop off. Wifey's about to come home soon. I'm gonna tackle the rest of this pantry and hopefully get everything back inside.
Yeah, be nice
But-
to us.
Yeah. I'll do my best. Just breathe. Just breathe.
Remember,
All
yes,
right.
dear.
Yes,
And-
dear. Yes,
And
dear.
remember,
Whatever you
my
say,
wife,
dear.
not she.
Yeah. All right. We'll see y'all later.
Okay, later.
See you later, Paige.
Later.
Yeah, it's gonna be aggravating if when they do that this week, that I'm gonna have to, instead of being able to sync my flights, I'm gonna have to download each one, which it's not a big deal. You know,
Mm,
maybe, like I said, I'm gonna find out I'll get it on the RC Pro today. And if it still could sync from there, that'd be even easier, you know?
yeah.
I'm wondering if it's on the RC Pro, if I could download it directly to the app from the RC Pro. You know, that would be even better, you know? But it's gonna happen. I already know. But they were talking last night saying that on the Pixel Drone Show, that he said it sounds like if they do go forward with this, they're not gonna brick out the drones we already have. It's everything coming in. You know, it won't work. It won't be able to come in. But then the stuff you got, well, jump, get it, jump. There you go. You were getting antsy. But but that's what Vic Moss was saying. So we'll get to fly. It's just how we're gonna get to fly. You know what I mean? We'll find out. It's something you got to live with. The world is a changing. Yeah, I don't know if you heard all of that, Johnny. DJI is going to stop syncing the cloud with all the apps to the cloud on the 12th with another update. Now I'm wondering if we don't do the update. It's another thought. If we don't do the update, is it going to stay going to it? Probably not. Probably still going to stop it. So us using the air data like we do, we're going to have to get that file and upload it to air data. Yep. I don't know where I'm going to fly today, Johnny. Where you going? Man, it's 10:30. They got people in the swimming pool already. We got a big swimming pool out in the middle of the complex. I could hear kids in it already. Oh, give me that. Yeah, we used to grab the ball and he'd hold on to it so tight, we could lift him off the ground. But now I wouldn't do it because he's getting older and his teeth aren't the same. I'd hate to do it and yank teeth out.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can hear him growling in the background, but I'm holding the ball and he's growling. Arr, arr. Give me that ball. Did Paul go do his ship?
I don't know. Has he been back since he went last time?
Yeah, he's been back. Thought we got to talking. I missed when he left.
Yeah, I didn't see when he left either. Well, them Lenovo 512 gigabyte cards work. I've just put one in my Mini 3 Pro and formatted it, and it says 499.7 gigabytes available.
There you go.
Not bad for 10 quid, so about $12. It won't work at first, and I thought, oh damn, another fake. And then I thought, well, let's see if it's just not formatted. So I went on, because it was saying it was unavailable even with the card in the slot. So when I went into formatted it and formatted it, and it came straight up.
Yes,
I think Dre must not have
EGR.
used the Fly app for quite some time, because you can check your batteries on the Fly app.
It says inside. See, the first thing, let's see. Okay. It says under the apps section in settings. Okay. When I go to settings, I don't have anything that says apps. There's no apps section. Now this says location on 2 apps have access to locations. I
Yeah,
don't have an apps setting. Apps and notifications. I guess that's it.
yeah. The Fly app gives you the voltage on each cell. It gives you the total voltage on the battery, and it gives you the battery temperature. My battery temperature is currently 36.1 degrees. It also gives you the serial number of the battery you've got in and how many flights you've done. Well, how many cycles it's been charged. This one's been charged 14 times.
See, so install. I have nothing that says install on. It doesn't say anything. It says install unknown apps. Hey, see, hey Don.
Hi.
Hello, Don.
I snuck in.
Under
I've been
app
in here for a
section.
while. You guys just didn't notice. You guys were off on your own little world, and I just.
Yeah, you snuck in there because Paul's back too.
I was gonna ask if this was a zombie show because Paul was gone, and you guys
What's
just
happening,
kind of.
Paul? You fell again?
I tripped, yeah.
Oh
Dang
dear.
it!
Are you all right?
Yeah. Caught myself.
Good.
Did you catch yourself on your face?
I did before, not now.
I was gonna say, your glasses were broke.
Well, I think they were on their way to being broken from the last fall. So now
When he
I'm gonna
headbutted
have
the
to
wall.
I'm gonna have to carry my readers around for a while.
You see, if you had a longer beard, we call you Santa.
Yeah. Ho ho ho.
No, that's across the hall.
The hose across the hall from Captain Joe. If you want to go for a really good ride, call Captain Joe.
Don't call me, call them. And Don was getting ready to say something. I could see it.
Yeah, you can see the cogs whirring round in his head.
Yeah, he
You
was
guys,
flipping.
all I gotta do is be quiet, and you guys give me so much more credit for thinking stuff.
Well, that's because we know how good you are, Don.
All right, the flattery is gonna just keep me coming back.
Yeah, he's just going to make his head bigger. Yeah.
Bigger? That implies that I've got a big head already, and I'm the most humble guy there is around. I mean, if you talk about humility, I would probably take first prize in any humility contest that you could throw up. I'm more humble than probably anybody this side of the Mississippi.
Mr. Straight Shooter, is that what you're saying?
That's it. More humble than
No,
apple
I'm just saying I'm humble.
Like pie.
Sure.
Humble pie.
Sure.
Which means you just throw a whole bunch of crap into it and it becomes humble pie.
What was this?
No.
Humble pie means they just haven't put enough apples in it.
Enough what?
Apples in it.
Thought you said assholes, but
Okay, well that would I would qualify for that humble pie then.
Yeah, I think that sounds better actually.
Just one big asshole in my humble pie.
That's
There it
for
is.
some reason this just will not work. I'm gonna have to find I don't know why I don't understand it. Because it's not giving me the same things on there that the thing's telling me. See, it was always in doubt. You go look for a what you call
APK.
a video.
Oh yeah, somebody's bound to have put a video
We don't
on
have this one on
YouTube.
there, but there's how to install third-party apps on the RC Pro. I'm gonna try that one because it's probably the same thing, but probably something it's said different. Stop walking at me. Stop. Go eat the food in your dish.
Yeah, that's why I keep telling Precious until she goes to sleep on the chair next to me,
So what she's telling me is that
which she is.
I've eaten the food in my dish. It's time for a treat.
A treat, yeah. I've been a good girl eating all my food. Now give me some more.
you want just a little something extra, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's this?
No, what
You
I
being a
do
good
is I
girl?
throw the treats on top of her food.
Yep.
Oh,
so
do you?
that she should carry on eating the food after she's ate the treats. But the trouble is, she started just eating the treats and then coming back and barking for some more treats.
Yeah, that's what she does. That's what they do. But what's the
She'll eat
temperature
her
going to be like
food.
today?
She'll
Oh.
eat her food just before it's
What's the
time for
what?
me to put her next food in it.
Yeah, the temperature today. What are you going to get to?
We're up at 70 right now. I'm gonna be maybe high as 74.
We're at 84. We're going to 96.
Well, we got 16 mile an hour, gusting to 32 with a west-northwest wind. 51% cloud cover. KP index of 2, 30 satellites visible.
How much
14
cloud cover?
degree, 51%. It's sunny with clouds in the sky. 14 degrees centigrade.
Our cloud
wow.
cover is 3%. 3% cloud cover, 4 to 11 in gust. 85 degrees.
Echo, what's 14 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit?
14 degrees Celsius is 57.2 degrees Fahrenheit.
57 Fahrenheit.
Yep.
And my wind speed is at 100 feet. I really can't see the use of asking it what the wind speed is at ground level.
Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna have a beautiful day again. I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
fly
go
something
fly, Joe?
today. I'm gonna fly, but I'm trying to decide what I want to fly. It's too late to go to Slidell because the train's already going by. And I don't really want to go to Manchac because it's 40 miles, 42 miles one way.
Mm.
That's the only places around here. What I need to do, it's still the same thing, still 40 miles. If I go across the lake, it's 40 miles to that bridge I want to fly. But let me see it's so drastic from here to there.
At 32 mile an hour winds, I'd be better off flying my Air 2S, but I can't take off from my garden with my Air 2S legally because I'm in the middle of an urban area. Whereas I can take off from my garden with the Mini 3 Pro.
You see, the weather is stable right now here because there's 7% cloud cover in New Orleans, and there's only 4 to 10 mile an hour. Today is the perfect day for me to go across the lake and fly to Huey Long Bridge.
Hey guys, Joe, you want to stay on for a while? I've got a ship I'm gonna go get.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm not going. Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
My problem is I
all
don't
else
have full
to do.
batteries to go. I'm gonna have to charge them. But today would be the perfect day to go fly that.
Well, I just switched my RC on and I'm there trying to figure out why it's not connecting to my Mini 3 Pro and trying to repair it to it, and it still won't do it. And then I realized I was actually trying to pair it to a Mavic 3 Pro instead of a Mini 3 Pro. So I switched it over to the Mini 3 Pro and it's straight in.
So it just showed Biden at the D-Day thing, and he walks up there, and Jill's got him by the hand and walks him up to the big wreath. So he's standing there with the big wreath there, and Jill's standing there, and she reaches out and she's touching the wreath, and she kind of sidesteps, looks at him, and kind of out the corner of her mouth says, "Reach out and touch the wreath."
And try not to fall over. Yeah.
Well, he almost fell over yesterday. She was walking with him, and he was walking like he was about to fall. And then he reached out, and the president of France reached out to grab him too. You know, and that's on the world stage. That's what's bad.
Beat out to push him over.
And they asked him yesterday. They said on an interview yesterday, they said President Trump said that you look weak, and something else. I can't remember what the two words were.
Decrepit.
And he said, is he talking about himself?
Is the word decrepit?
That might have been it. He said, is he talking about himself?
It's like,
come on,
great comeback.
You know, but you know, the bottom line is this. I'm gonna be 70 years old, but I feel like I'm in the 30s. I feel like that. And when you feel like that, you sit there and you kind of daydream a little bit. You think about what you look like in the 30s. Then I look in the mirror. You know? Then I get reality check.
I don't look much different to when I was in 30s, except for the fact that I had hair then. Just about.
Yeah, my hair was still gray when I was in my 30s. I was almost like this. They said they'd pick me out in the crowd because my hair was right down the middle. I had like a skunk right down the middle. Man, I tell you. Oh, that looks good. You got pictures of fillets wrapped in bacon.
I bought some spicy breadcrumbed chicken breasts frozen yesterday from Iceland. So and it said they were cheeseburgers. So I thought, oh, maybe it's 4 cheeseburgers with the bun, because you can buy them ready-made kind of thing. The burgers in a bun and everything. You just stick them in the microwave. But no, it just arrived as 4 burgers. Where the cheese comes into it, I don't know, unless it's got cheese slices in the packet as well. I got some more of my sliced cheddar with chilies in it. And I got a nice cottage pie for me tea tonight. Which is a shepherd's pie too, only it's got beef in rather than lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Although your shepherd's pie probably has beef in it anyway.
Yeah, it's ground meat, usually.
Yeah, well, it's always ground meat, but there's a difference between ground beef and ground lamb. And a shepherd's pie is lamb, because shepherds keep sheep.
Right.
And a cottage pie is beef. They're both exactly the same otherwise, with the mashed potato and either peas or carrots in them.
Yeah, every time y'all talk about that, I think about going make one, and I never do.
Well, I suppose I could make one if I do, but it's just as easy to buy one already made. £700 cottage pie cost me £5. But I can get a cheap 400-gram one for £1.
Dang it. I am so happy that I've got my auto backup set on my Adobe app, my Adobe
You
projects.
mean you just accidentally deleted something you shouldn't have?
No, I overwrote something yesterday that I shouldn't have.
That's what I bought yesterday right there. Those 2 chickens. Yeah, those were $5 a piece. $4.98.
Yeah,
So I got
we
one of
used
them all
to do
cut
those-
up and the other one is getting ready to get cut up and frozen.
yeah, they used to do those chickens in Tesco, but I don't think they do anymore.
Yeah, those things are so good. The guy told me yesterday they do 500 a day at Sam's.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
don't.
500 chickens a day.
Yep. Those are the greatest shortcuts.
I'm telling you. Let me show you this other thing here.
Mind you,
I went-
if I buy a raw chicken, it fits in the air fryer. So
Yeah,
I just cook it in the air fryer.
but it's cheaper for me to buy this one already cooked, and then I don't have to worry about it.
That's why I call it a shortcut. It's a great
Yeah.
shortcut.
Oh yeah, of course it is. To
If
get
you're
one-
making chicken noodle soup or something, buy one of those.
Yep.
Strip it down.
And
Go ahead
check
and
out
boil
all
the
these
carcass. Has plenty of flavor in the carcass. You got your stock ready for your chicken noodle soup. Yeah.
alligator snapping turtles.
and I bought a jar of finely cut. Well, it says small chunks rather than the big chunky.
A few
Pickle.
of them.
Yep.
I counted 27 in the video.
Do you still call it? Do you call it piccalilli over there?
Piccadilly?
Piccalilli.
No, I don't know what you're talking. No,
Have no idea.
It's like pickled onions, gherkins, pickled cauliflower, all in a mustard pickle sauce.
never seen that.
Never
before.
heard of it.
Really nice. Great for putting on cheese sandwiches and things like that.
Okay, so this was.
Was weird. Never seen that before. I picked up my, you know how your watch turns on, your smart watches? Mine, when I lift my wrist, it comes on, right? It was sitting at 25 minutes too. I went like this, and it went boom and jumped up to the right time. First time I ever saw it delayed like that.
Weird.
I never seen that before.
Is
I'm
it
gonna blame
battery?
it on. I'm gonna blame it on Stefanik.
Is its battery going low?
Shouldn't be. I got.
My smartwatch.
Shouldn't be. 95% battery.
My smartwatch has been on this table between the sofas for the past 3 weeks. I hardly ever wear it. When I first got it, I used to wear it every day. But I get used to not bothering wearing a watch. I've got a watch on my phone. I can ask my phone what time it is and it'll tell me.
Save as and overwrite that other file that was bad.
But if you get a chance to try that piccalilli, it's really nice.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
even
good.
sure if we have anything like it.
It's good to have with a salad. Yeah. Bright yellow.
Piccalilli. Mustard piccalilli.
Yep.
Okay, we have it here in different places. So here things go a little bit different. In the Northeast, you got sweet peppers and green tomatoes that are used into it. It's kind of like a sweet pepper relish.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
In the Midwest, you have like made out of gherkins, and it's sometimes called neon relish. but it's got the mustard and the relish together.
Yeah, here it's mostly pickled onion, pickled cucumber, well, gherkin, and pickled cauliflower.
Piccalilli. And you can
Okay.
probably find it at Walmart like as a dill pickle mustard spread.
Yeah, I guess something.
But
Yeah. But
no one in the US is going to purposely use the word piccalilli.
Yeah, piccalilli is a generic word for basically a mustard pickle, I would imagine. Yeah.
I looked at the Wikipedia, and it's from an Indian origin. Well, it's the origin is British, but it was referring to Indian style.
Yeah. But I mean, it's sweet as well as being a little bit of heat to it. Not much heat, but enough with the mustard, depending on which mustard they put in it. And you can always add a little bit of extra English mustard to it to make it hotter.
Come on. Media offline. Let's find that.
Thanks.
But this is a pain in the butt trying to do this. Made me want to stop flying drones.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be, when they said they're going to get rid of that, I knew it was going to be a process of downloading and then re-uploading. And if you want to keep using your third party, well, if you want to track it yourself, you got to still download it.
I might have done it the back door. I said,
All right, we need to clip that one.
Hmm?
We need to clip that one. I might have done it at the back door. It's like, okay, this is a safe space, Joe. If you want to make confessions, that's fine, but just no. All right, but you got it working?
Guess what? It's installing.
Nice.
It's installed. I had to go through the, let's see how I'm gonna put it. Had to go a special way, let's put it that way. I just said, I said, download the Air Data app. I said, let's try to do it that way. And it came on and it showed me the app. So I downloaded it and it said, do you want to install it? I said, yeah, install it. I've been fighting for what, an hour?
You need to make a tutorial, because if you had the problem, someone else is going to have the problem. And
Yeah, it's no good making a tutorial till you've actually got it right.
Look, it's on mine. So now I have it directly on here. Now I got to make sure it's the app and it's got to be the app.
oh no, I'm missing. Well, why did that not save an auto save the other day? Oh, crap. Lower third web.
Guess what? It's telling me, do you want to accept? Tell me, do I want to auto sync? I said, yes. It's on there. I have the app now on the RC Pro. Can you believe it?
Good.
Now my question is, am I going to be able to? It's not going to sync. I don't know if it's going to sync with the DJ Fly app I have. It should. So I should be able to automatically go here and sync my flights without having to do it on a card. Shit. That is good.
Damn, I gotta.
The only time I'm gonna have an issue with it maybe then is if I fly the Mini 3 Pro, because the Mini 3 Pro is gonna be on a different controller. I'll have to download those flights. This makes it a lot simpler. If I can get it to do this. I put it this way, I've used 22% of my controller battery doing this. And it's not on there completely yet, it's initializing. So what it's doing is syncing all my flights. Gonna take all day. Might plug it in. Guy offered me $700 just now for the Avata with the goggles and everything. I've got it out there for $1,200 with all kind of accessories with it. I said no. Offer me $1,000. I think about it. But that's giving away my, I gotta see which one this is. I think it's giving away my sticks in one battery. I'll take 1,000 for it. Yeah, this thing's still initializing. It's probably syncing everything. I hate it when it says something like it's initializing, and it's got the bar where it's moving across,
Mm-hmm.
but it's moving so slow you can't tell if it's moving or not.
Yeah, I saw a video about that once. If the real world was like your timer bar on your downloads, and somebody talking on the phone with a friend saying, when you're going to be here? And it says, we're going to be there in about 10 minutes. Make that an hour. We're here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's moving.
Alignment. Where is my alignment tab? There we go.
Yeah, they're on there. They're on there. And my data is definitely on it.
Good, good.
But where's the app? I don't see it. Oh, I found it. I do have the app. Let me get it to the right screen. Yeah, I do have it now. It's on my screen, and you're not gonna be able to see it, but it's right there. Air data. So now if I hit air data, it comes up, signed in. You see, there you go. Sync now. Yeah, it's a little different. It says sync now. It doesn't tell you how you can. It says sync done, no new files. So I'm gonna play with this and see if it picks it up from there next time I fly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I say sync now and it picks it up, but it can still be picking up from the cloud. You see, that's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna find out. I think what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna have to download the file to my SD card and then upload it. I think it's gonna have to happen.
EOD has to get fixed. Oh, I hate going back and fixing stuff that I had already done the other day and having to rebuild stuff. It saved most of my work, but not all of it.
Yeah, it would be the Avata, the bumper guards, the Integra goggles, the controller, the RC controller, 2 batteries. I said $1,000. You know, so he said he offered me 700 for it. I said 1,000. See what he says. Because I'm not even caring if I sell it or not. You know what I mean? It's not a priority to me right now. I'd rather sell just the Avata by itself with 1 battery to somebody for $450, $500, and then I keep everything else just in case I need it. You know.
Yeah.
Especially with my son that likes to fly it, I'd have it for him to fly it, and that way I don't have him flying all the new stuff. Okay. Yeah, his worked. Lance sent me a link. He said, "Did add data work? Can you see my flight? Here's a sharing link." It does. It shows it. It did show it.
Oh, we've reduced to 43% cloud cover now. It's getting sunnier. Cat's wandering around.
Robin Williams said, "Politicians should never wear sponsor jackets like NASCAR drivers. Then we know who owns them."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that.
Got a point.
You must have said that a long time ago, though.
Yep. I believe that was in one of his sets from the 80s.
This one woman, one of the moms, Melanie, she is like super hot, right? She got a thing that says, get you a man who doesn't spend free time on the toilet flirting with other women. Like that. She says, if you can't give me 100% of your energy and time, don't expect me to give you 100% of mine, right? I'll put it this way. If I had 100% energy to give to her, I couldn't handle her. She is she is like, God, don't it?
I take it that some of these soccer mom or whatever soccer moms don't have soccer dads.
Yeah. No, she don't have a soccer dad. Okay, I gotta show y'all.
Leaderboard.
She used to always run up to me and hug me and everything else. And I'm gonna tell you, I'll put it this way. I loved every minute of those hugs, but I knew I couldn't handle it. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I knew she was. I even say I can't say she's out of my league. I just don't know if I could stay in that league. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna show you.
Next tea time
She's
is
a RN. She's a RN, an emergency room RN. All I know is she's the nurse I'd want to take care of me.
14.
I was just going to say, when are you faking your next heart attack?
12:40.
Shoot, I'd have a heart attack for her to take care of me. That's all I'm gonna say. I'd be willing to have a heart attack if she was the one taking care of me.
12:10. Right. Billy Horschel and Matt Fitzpatrick is in.
I'll put it this way. If she lived across the hall, y'all would never see me.
That's creepy.
I'd find a new hobby.
All right, so we are going to just highlight that. I had this put together the other day exactly how I liked it. Now I got to try and rebuild it the way I had it. And it's like, it's not coming out like I like it.
Oh, you overwrote a video that you were happy with something
got-
that you weren't.
I got back 90% of what I had done. But I must have finished up and saved right before the autosave. And so since I had saved it, it didn't autosave.
Right. Yeah.
And then I overwrote the most recent file. Damn it. Let's try.
Set the auto save for every 30 seconds.
What if
Dublin, Ohio, near Cleveland, is Western time, Pacific time.
do what?
I said, I take it that Dublin, Ohio, near Cleveland, is Pacific time.
No.
No.
No?
No, that's
Ohio is always central, isn't it?
it should be central.
No, sorry, Central. Yeah, it would be 12, 12:15 there now.
Actually be just past 11 on central.
11:18 there.
So what do you think?
No, because the next tea time to tee off is at 12:20, which is in 3 minutes.
Hey, Donald, what do you think? Think I'm in
It
the
must
same
be.
league?
It must be. They must have. They must have the time set at Eastern time.
I'd be kicked out of that league quick, I think.
Yeah, 12:10, 12:20. That's only 5 hours
Yeah,
behind.
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
I honestly don't think I could
They
handle
must
her.
have set their times for Eastern.
Yeah, Ohio could be on Eastern.
That's one of the moms, Paul, that I
Which
shot her
mom?
son's pictures. Yeah, I shot one of she's the RN nurse down in New Orleans.
So when did you have the baby with her?
Oh, Lord, no, don't worry about that one. That's never happened.
Yeah, Mark.
He takes
Ohio
pictures
is
of the mom and his son.
yeah. Ohio is on Eastern time, so
All right.
But she put out a message on Facebook that said, "Get you a man who doesn't spend his free time on the toilet flirting with other women." So if you can't give me 100% of your time, don't expect me to give you 100% of mine. I don't know if I have 100% to deal with her.
I don't mind the women watching me while I'm on the toilet. I mean, if they want to spend 100% of their time with,
Well, I know that it sounds
Whatever they
terrible,
want.
but my opinion is if a girl is that good looking and she's single, she's looking for a big time sugar daddy.
Hey, she's got more money than me. She's a sugar mama.
Well, then she wants to hook up with a big time sugar daddy so that they got
Then-
big time sugars.
Now she's a cougar. She's looking for a younger man.
Yeah, and I'm not younger. That's bad. Wrong.
Hook her up with your son.
No,
Huh?
no, because he'd be mad at me because I'd be trying. I'd be
What you do is
I'd be
you
a creeper.
show him that picture. Say, hey, I know her. Do you want to be introduced?
I'd be a creeper if that happened.
you already are a creeper. I don't know if you've witnessed your actions here today.
You haven't noticed?
No. You don't underestimate me. Don't encourage me, okay? I need to text her back and say, you know how much I like this picture.
No, only tell her that if she's accidentally taken poison or something, because it would work probably as good as Epicac.
There you go. I'm gonna have to make you a special duck.
Hey, Joe, I have accepted the reality of what I am.
Oh, me too. I could make you a Donald Duck flipping the bird. What do you
Yeah,
think?
we've accepted the reality of what we are as well.
Yeah, I have to go find me a Donald Duck and then put the flipping the bird. Okay.
All right, so I need to just
I
replace
am
that.
about to tear off this controller on my thermostat and throw it away. Put a manual back on it. Because this thing's starting to piss me off. Because I've got it set to where it doesn't, it's telling me it's on eco. I knew I could tell. It's saying, I'm telling it, don't go on eco. I'm giving it a set thing to do, and it keeps kicking it back to 76 degrees, saying, well, we're not feeling that nobody's here. It's, first off, I told it not to look for anybody to be here. I turned that off, but it's overriding it somewhere. I don't know where. So I've got to go on when I start feeling it in here, and I'm saying, okay, I want it on cool. I want it. I say, are you sure? Yeah, that's what I want. I want to set a time, a hold temperature. I want it to set to cool. Then I got to tell it when to end it, and I just leave it on. Aggravation. And I even have a setup to where I got a schedule for it set. And I set it the way I want it. It won't even pick up the schedule.
Really?
Yeah, it's doing its own thing. So now I've got it set to 74 until 10 p.m. The 74 in here is comfortable. 76 is not. I mean, I've done all the settings on it. I've done everything. And it does what it wants to do. I find out there's a neighbor messing with me. Got this. I bet you. You know what? What happens if they got a neighbor's got the same thing and they pick me up and they think it's them they're doing?
There you go.
Oh, I would. That would be so much fun.
Echo. What? 76 degrees Fahrenheit in centigrade.
76 degrees Fahrenheit is about 24.44 degrees Celsius.
20. God, I wouldn't even have my heating set that high.
I know. That's why I don't. And then I've got to go through. I'm gonna change the modes, the eco modes. I'm gonna change the eco mode to 73 degrees. See if that'll work. You know.
At the moment, my thermostat is set for 17 degrees. So if it goes any lower than that, it will come on for a bit. But at the moment, it's not going below that anyway. So it's not using any, it's not actually turning on. But the highest I'll have it is 21 degrees. And that's in the middle of winter.
I've tried everything you could think of where I've set it, and you could tell when it does this.
Did you press save at the end of it?
I pressed save, I pressed everything. see the schedule right here? Schedule right now. Change things.
You mean when it's programmed to come on and go off?
Yeah, it's doing what it wants to do. Let's try this. Let's see. I got a feeling I know what's doing it now.
Your son didn't screw around with the thermostat, did he?
That's always a possibility. Always a possibility.
Wow. I'm just now watching Lance's video on the slow motion.
That's pretty cool, wasn't it?
And I know that's kind of cool there, but I'm kind of impressed with his setup. I'm guessing he's at school. I guess that's their key setup that they have at school. But it's not bad as far as the key that he's pulling there.
Quality.
It's pretty darn good.
Yeah. It looked pretty good. I like it. Hey, Paul, did you see the latest on the
I mean, he gave,
is he still at school or finished?
I don't know, but he's pulling transparency on his hair. So that's kind of rough. We have a little bit of fringe, but it looks like he's despilled that. Doesn't look bad.
I think Justin's kids finished school on Thursday, didn't they?
Who?
Justin's kids finished school on Thursday.
Yeah, I think they did. I thought they did a week ago. William Andrews, Apollo 8 astronaut, died in a plane crash.
Typical that, isn't it?
Yeah. Flies in a freaking rocket and he dies in a plane crash.
Mm.
Did you see the latest on Trump, the Trump thing? That Trump
No,
trial?
what?
They had a tweet go out that got to the judge before the trial was over with, saying that my cousin's a juror, and they were telling them that everybody's going to go ahead and say that Trump is guilty before the
Huh.
trial ended. So now it got back to the prosecution first.
Uh,
Prosecution sent it to the judge. The judge is
Yeah.
now talking to the defense. Now it's all up in the air.
Yeah.
They're trying to find out what juror it was.
Yeah, they'll be going for a mistrial now.
So it's
Well,
now
yeah,
it's all up in there.
anything that would tie him up for the next, all the way through the primary, you know?
Well, you know, the problem is, this is the problem, is that this trial, they should have been sequestered.
Yep.
They should have had their phones taken away from them, should have everything taken away from them. Everything should have been monitored, what they were saying to people. And it should have been sequestered. And it shouldn't have lasted 3 weeks. It's like what's going to happen with this, with the Hunter Biden trial? Monday, they go back in, they're going to probably close the trial out Monday. And they got him dead to rights. So what are they going to do? Are they going to convict him? They asked Biden yesterday, are you going to accept what happens? He says, yes. He said, are you planning to pardon him? He said, no.
Well, that's because it's probably already been said. He knows what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, that's probably why. Because I'd be honest with you, if they come back and they've got his daughter even saying that during that period of time he bought the gun, he was on drugs. His daughter actually said it. They come back and say not guilty. I don't want to know what's going to happen. Because like I said, if you look at all the different states right now that Biden won, Trump's leading big time in, except for Virginia that died. So it doesn't make sense. It's not, this whole thing this year is not going to make sense. I don't know. I think something's going to be crazy.
And Biden's putting out some really nasty advertisements.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you can get even. You can come back and say, so what? I'm a convicted felon for now. You're old and decrepit. Yeah, they can't stoop to it. But do you really know what day it is? Yeah. Like, if nobody's there to hold your hand, can you find your way out? So, where am I going fly today? I don't know. Let me pull up Google Maps. Oh, Paul, by the way, while you were gone, I went back into it and I said, download the AirData app. I downloaded it. When I downloaded it into the folder on my RC Pro, it said, do you want to install it? I said, yes. And it installed it.
There you go.
After all the trouble that I was having, now I lost my earphone. Technology. What a country. Hold on.
So now what does it just automatically loads and stays there, or do you have to tell it to do things?
I won't know to fly again.
Okay.
And I don't have an earphone. Let me find out why I don't have an earphone. They disconnected again. You see? You see? I'm back on. So it disconnected and just came back.
Oh, damn it. The kid that I always dog sit for, he just told me, he says, Lord of the Rings is coming back into theaters in June, and he would like to go before he goes back or moves over to Kansas with his parents. He wants to go see Lord of the Rings with me. And they're back to back. It's like, that's a long slog of movies. Damn.
Give me that week.
At least they're not the extended cuts. I have done a marathon of the extended cuts once, and that is a full day project. And also, a lot of things are getting re-released in the theater right now. Run Lola Run is getting re-released. That's been like, what, 30 years?
Yeah.
That was a great movie. I liked it. But I guess, you can't make any good movies, or nobody's making any new good movies. Might as well re-release the old ones, right?
Yep.
All right, let's see how this looks. I think I'm gonna have to. I don't think that saved my timing on that either. All right, I need to change that because I need to leave that longer.
And she got another picture out there that shows her in a low cut dress. It looks like she got a hickey on her boob.
Here he is.
I'm telling you, she's dangerous.
I'm telling you that you're dangerous.
Hey, it's popping in my feed. I'm a friend on Facebook. Nothing I can do. I'm not the one sending it to me. Facebook is. I had nothing to do with it. Not a thing to do with it.
All right. Keep telling yourself that.
I got to tell her to unfriend me, maybe. Facebook's got me mad too right now. You know how the little drop box on the side always changes? It used to say feeds, and then you get to say friends. Now you got to go find feeds. It's not the same place anymore.
I don't go on Facebook very often, so I don't know.
Wait a minute. Where is this? This got to be old. Where'd it go? I hate it. I want to see this. Eight minutes ago. Where is this at? Oh, I got to go across the lake. I'm going to have to do it. I have to go across the lake.
What's there?
Lee's Hamburgers. 8 minutes ago, she said, we're having an exciting day coming up next Friday. Next Friday, next week. What's next Friday? Is the 11th? No, it's not the 11th, huh? So when the hell was this? See, that it messed me all up. It says Lee's Hamburgers rolling back the price. Oldies Day, all burgers $2. Friday the 11th through the 9th, but it don't give you. It isn't this month. Oh, it's 11/9. That a long time ago, probably. Said they were rolling back their prices to $2, all the burgers. Limit 2. Shoot, that burger's like $12 now. And then the Lee's hamburgers we have over here, closed. Oh, this thing, they take the hamburger and you order it. They go in there, it's all fresh ground meat, right? They take the fresh ground meat, they whatever one you order, they take the size of it, they scoop it out, and the scoop, they weigh it for you. And then they throw it on the grill, and if you want grilled onions, they throw the onions in and smash them in there and grill the onions in there. And they throw extra grilled onions up there if you want extra ones. So that you get the grilled onions in the burger, grilled onions on top of the burger. And you get the one with the works, it's all grated cheese. And Lord, this burger will hurt your feelings. I used to eat there all the time. Kind of explains why I'm having heart issues.
You're still carrying around like 10 pounds of red meat from it, right?
Probably more than that. All I'm telling you is that, wow. And it was one, actually, in the last, say, 20 years, I may have eaten there 5 times, you know? I know better now. You go there every once in a while when you want to splurge, and you get the fried onion rings with it. I used to always get, when I was doing it, this is back in the 90s, in the 80s and the 90s, late 80s and the 90s. I'd go there every like 2 or 3 days a week and get the works with an onion ring, and sit there with a box root beer, and just sit there and enjoy every bit of it.
Oh, I used to love Barks root beer.
Yeah.
I haven't thought of a Barks root beer in years. That's a lot of sugar.
Yep. And then we had Bud's Broiler, which is another place that used to do a number 4 chili and cheese and onions. It was grilled onions with the grilled hamburger, same kind of way basically. It was flame broiled. It was done over a barbecue pit, like a flame barbecue pit, and they'd have the charcoal. It was all charcoal. It was so hot that it would be flaming the burgers up, you know. And you get the thing, and it'd be crispy burgers with the onions, and they put chili, their own homemade chili, and grilled, and then the cheese over it. And that's another place. I used to hit that every once in a while. And they were over here and they closed down. They had another place called Frost Stop that I brought my kids to one time, and it was because they were expensive. And I brought them here one time, and they looked at me and said, "Why haven't you taken us here before?" You know, and they have their own root beer, Frost Stop root beer, and it was a completely different taste. And they look at me like, "Why in the world is this the only time we've ever been here?" And because the 3 of us, this was maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and the 3 of us, just it was a frosted mug. They bring it to you in. They have the ice falling. It started forming ice on it on the inside. That's how cold the mugs were, and you didn't have to put ice in the root beer because root beer was cold as it was. So it come out, so you have the whole mug of root beer. And I think it was the root beer, the loaded burger, which was dressed burger, with the cheese and the fries. And I think it might have cost us almost $30 for 3 of us. That was maybe 8-9 years ago. And they closed down. So it's like everything closed down around 2020.
We are running on fumes right now. Everything, I mean, heck, a Big Mac in some places costs like $18 now.
Yeah, what's in an Outburger cost?
Yeah, there's no way to.
Well, they got Five Guys here still going, and I'm afraid to go over there.
That's why I still say if you can support the local restaurants.
Yeah.
If you have a small burger place, like a local burger place, go there.
Yeah, we got two of them. We got Times Grill. It's a local, just in St. Tammany Parish. They got the Times Burger. That one I could see. And you got Walk-Ons is local basically, but they're spreading out. You know, and I don't do Walk-Ons as much anymore. And then there's Mugshots. It was local, and they start to spread out. So they're doing good because they're in a lot of places. But Times has only got maybe 4 locations. Times Grill. And their burgers are good. It's hard for me to go out and say, well, I'm gonna go buy a burger and spend $15 when I could go get $15 worth of ground meat and all the fixings.
Yep.
And then I could make the same thing basically close to it and make 6 or 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you see that chicken I got. That chicken that I chopped all up, I broke one of them down, cut it all down. I've got it in the leg quarters, and I ate the wings yesterday with the jambalaya because I had that. And I've got the 2 breasts. I'm going to take those 2 breasts and all the dark meat. I'm probably not going to take dark meat off the leg quarters, but I'll probably take all the breast meat and I'll put that in and make it like a taco seasoning with it, and then I'll make that as a burrito. I got the guac and everything else in it. You know, so I'll have chicken burritos this weekend. I've got a little bit of jambalaya left. That I found out I did something with the jambalaya I've never done before. I made a jambalaya burrito.
Oh, I was gonna say you made your own roux.
No, but I knew you were gonna say that. But I made it in
It's
a burrito
something he's
form.
never done before. Ooh.
I made it in a burrito form.
Yeah.
And it was nice because I was able just to all I had to do was pick it up, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna look up to see if anybody's ever thought of doing jambalaya wraps. That's a great idea.
Hold on, I'll show you.
What's in jambalaya?
Jambalaya is a lot like gumbo, except it's
Chicken
thicker.
and
You got your
sausage and
rice
rice.
mixed in, and it's cooked a little bit thicker.
Really?
Yeah.
And nobody's ever done that before?
They probably have.
Yes, jambalaya wraps. There's jambalaya wraps. Oven baked jambalaya wrap recipe. People have done it.
That was mine. I was able just to pick it up and just jambalaya wrap, just pick it up and eat it. That made it so much easier. You know, and that tasted so good. I sat there and went, oh my God. So that might have me a new way to do it.
That's a pretty good idea.
Make a wrap. But I was in a hurry. I was getting ready. My blood sugar was dropping, and I was getting ready to go fly. And I said, "Let me make it to go." You know. And I haven't been buying bread. I haven't been buying bread lately. I've been buying the wraps.
Yep.
You know, it's just I've been cutting some of the bread out of my life.
Yeah, there's still a lot of carbs in that rice, but dang, they look good.
Yeah, but I need those carbs because that stupid Ozempic is dropping my blood sugar.
Gotcha.
So you're doing
So I got to get the carbs.
a yo-yo.
Yeah, it's like it's what 11:47, and I'm starting to feel the bottom drop out.
Well, now, how often do you take that pill, that medication?
The Ozempic's a once a week shot, but it's like I take it on Mondays, so the first couple of days it hits me harder. Yeah, the first couple of days it hits me harder. I'm gonna show you a video I did. Remember I told you I did a little bayou yesterday. As I came over the look at all the snapping turtles in it. That's alligator snapping turtles. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I counted 27. There's 5 or 6 back here. That's all alligator. Put your hand by their mouth, they'll take your finger off.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're
Look at all
called
them turtles.
alligator snapping turtles?
Alligator snapping turtles.
Never heard of such.
They get 5 times that size, and they'll take your finger off.
Yeah, and you see stupid people trying to help them across the road.
Yeah, you don't have to pick them up.
It's like, yep, if you pick them up, you gotta get right behind the head. But even still, you better be careful.
Be quick.
They can snap halfway back their shell.
Yeah.
With their head, they can come out and.
The smaller ones will get you better than the bigger ones.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger ones don't have it's like us. When we get old, we don't have the mobility.
Yep.
You know, but those suckers will. I've seen people take a wooden stick and a carrot and everything, put it by the mouth, and they'll just rip it in half.
Oh yeah.
If that's your finger, it's gonna take your finger off.
The biggest one I ever saw was in a creek bed near the sewage treatment plant here in town. And we played with it. Was when I was a kid, and yeah, we played with it for a good half hour, getting it to chop up sticks.
It will. Yeah, it was saying get a little closer.
It's like I want meat. I want meat, and your fingers look very tasty.
I didn't know where to be.
That's like the alligator gars too. You grab an alligator gar. When we used to catch them, we used to catch some big ones. We went a 16-foot flatboat one time and caught one that was almost the length of the boat, and we brought it inside. It was about as round as I'd say, I don't think we measured it, but it had to be 15 inches round.
I tell you, I went out and I took.
You know, and we had to struggle to get him on board, and we weren't going to do it, but Harold's dad said, "Get him, come on, we're gonna keep him." And what you do is they fight with you until they can't see you. And he wrapped him in a T-shirt, his eyes in a T-shirt, so it just sat there dormant, not bothering with anybody.
Because they didn't know where to go.
Yeah, it didn't know what to do. If you showed him you were in there, he started swooshing and fighting. You know, so what we did is he took him like that, and he said, "Let's get him dormant like this." He covered his eyes, so when he calmed down, he took a knife and then he went right through the head and killed him, right? Like that. And I didn't know what he was going to do with him because I had never eaten one before. And so we get him home. He gets a chainsaw. Okay? Gets a chainsaw and cut right behind the gills, cut the head off. Took that chainsaw and ran it right down the middle, not deep, just enough to cut the skin. Because the skin is like leather. So he cut the skin all the way down to the end of the tail. Got down to where you saw where the dog meat was and cut that part off. Then he went to where the rest of it was white meat. And then he went in there and he sliced it on the other side the same way. And then he grabbed a pair of pliers and a vice grip on the other side and pulled that off. All he had was white meat, a big chunk of white meat. It must have been about 3 foot long of white meat. The bone was already cut, so he got a hammer and a nail punch, and he put it against it and he popped it a couple of times from both ends. Went in there with the vice grips and just pulled the bone right out because it's a center bone. That's all it is, center bone. So there's no more bones. And then he went through and he just took a regular knife and sliced 1-inch pieces off. Took that, battered it up, deep fried it. I'll tell you what, I can't say it tastes like chicken, but it tastes like the best fish I ever had. Kind of like chicken and fish together. And it was firm white meat, everything. It was like a little bit of flaky, you know. It was, and he said, the problem is, and it took us to skin this thing and everything about an hour and a half. He said, that's where your problem's at. When you get them this big, this is what you got. You got great meat, but you got to work to get it to do it. You know.
Yeah, I would have no idea where I'd even start.
Yeah,
but I mean,
what a chainsaw unboxing video.
Yeah, but I sat there with him the whole hour and a half. We did this. He said, "I'm gonna show you how to do it." And it's not hard to do. The thing better be dead. Let's put that before you try to fool with it, because like I said, You think he's dead. You think he's dead, and that sucker will come at you. And because we caught him, we right here in that little canal that floods next to us. When we first moved in here, they had them all in there. I'd bring my kids. We'd walk out here, walk through the bushes, go out to the fish, stand out there where everybody's driving by, and we'd be throwing alligator gauze up on the bank right there. And people would be driving by us, look at us. We have 4 or 5 of them on the bank.
Yeah. I just, I never knew that they were any good eating.
Oh yeah. And what they do a lot of times, let me tell you what else they do with them. They take us. This is what we did. You take them and you the smaller ones are easier, a little bit easier to fool with. They still bite the shit out of you. Don't let them get you. But those teeth are all kind of ways. But you take them and then you get like a what's it called? A cheesecloth sack, and you take that meat and you put it in that cheesecloth sack, without the bone. After you wash it all off, after you got just the white meat, and you put it in there and you boil it with crab oil, and it tastes just like crabs, just like you got crab meat. That's the sneaky way to do it.
Well, they do that here with, you can buy, they used to call them crab sticks, but now they have to call them fish sticks because they're just raw fish with a crab flavor in. Yeah.
Yeah. But we used to cheat that way. You'd make you something like a steak or something and put the lumped crab meat on it, but it'd be the codfish. And you really couldn't tell the difference because it has the same kind of texture. It has that flaky texture as crab meat does, you know, but it doesn't really taste like fish. Doesn't really taste like crab, but it doesn't really taste like chicken. It's like a mixture. But if you use the crab boil, people would think you got crab because you'd get away with it. And that was really what we used to do is if you could get 5 or 6 of the little bitty ones and clean them like that, and then you got all of that meat, you got a big old it'd be like a crab boil. You boil it and you take it out. You might have 5 or 6 pounds of that meat, and those things you take little buns, and you take those buns and just put a little like mayonnaise on it or tartar sauce on it. And that crab, and it'd be like having a like what they call the what they have up in the Northeast, the crab buns, you know, or the lobster buns, you know. So you used to do all of that stuff. You know, when I had the house, I did all that stuff. Now that I'm in the apartment, I don't do nothing. That's why I'm afraid to get a house again, because I already know the first thing I'm buying is a Blackstone. The Blackstone's gonna be out on the back.
My nephew has one.
I already picked the ones I want. You know.
Yeah, my nephew has Blackstone. He likes it.
I'd be out there cooking my eggs on it in the morning. What are you talking about? I'd be outside sitting out there in a nice cool area, making my eggs, and I'd be doing stir fries on it and everything. That's like, I want one. They got one I could put an apartment. They've got an electric one that I can bring in here. I just don't have the room for it. It's a 22-inch one, and it's electric, and you can do everything on it. Like I said, I don't use my stove. I barely use my stove because I use the air fryers and everything. But I'm thinking about measuring it out. I just haven't. See, that's the thing. I haven't measured it. I don't want to measure it because if it would fit directly on top of that stove, I'd unplug my stove. I'd unplug the stove, plug the Blackstone in, and that's what I'd use. I'd use it every day.
Hey guys, what do you think?
I'd probably be healthier.
It's 1 o'clock. You think we ought to close it down?
Yeah, because I need to find some time to fly.
Okay. And Donald, we'll see you later today, I hope.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mark, everybody in the chat, we're down to 7 people watching. I guess it's time to go. Bye, everybody.
We're good.
Thanks for
Okay,
being
Paul.
here.
See you later.